Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Good evening, lovely people, and welcome to Red Men TV. Welcome to LFC Data. I'm doing a UEFA at the moment. Welcome to Kopish, people. Hope you're all well. Everyone in the comments already, smash the like button if you haven't already, and big up to everyone in the chat. Matt Drift, hope you're doing a bit better than UEFA are doing right now. What are we saying, boys?
I'm all right, but are you UEFA though? I don't know.
There's in the mud and there's under the mud, and they are pushing up daisies right now because they are so slack at the moment. It's ridiculous.
They
absolutely ridiculous.
Stinker, a mare. I don't even know what you call it.
Well, Man City and Chelsea, they got their money in early to UEFA and got a nice couple of draws there, back to back as well. What did Chelsea get? Lille back to back? Yeah, I rate it still. I rate it.
Abramovich's got that thing working like clockwork, bro.
Money.
My bank account.
Man like Matt would say, we move. As always, people, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we've got some good topics to discuss, so sit back, sit tight, and let's get into the first topic of the evening, people. So no other place to start but with UEFA and the Champions League. 2 draws for round of 16 today. First time round, we drew RB Salzburg, which would have been quite a romantic tie. Obviously, you've got Mane, Keita, who have come through the RB system. You've also got Minamino, who we purchased from RB Salzburg. You've got players like Adeyemi there, who are getting massive reviews and plaudits. There's also been linked to Liverpool Football Club. But hey, UEFA were like, no, that was just a trial run we did live. So they redid it again. And the second time round, we drew the team who won Serie A last season and the team who are currently leading Serie A at the moment, Inter Milan, which again is another romantic tie when you think about the history there. Last time we played Inter Milan in the Champions League, we went through, beat them 2-0 at home and 1-0 away from home. I was going to ask Drift as well, but Matt, do you remember the goal scorers from the first game?
What? Sorry, when we played who? So we played Salzburg.
No,
Inter Milan. Sorry,
2-0
from the first game. Hold on. When did we play them again? Sorry,
we played them back in 2007-8, I believe it was.
All right. So if that was the first, I know Torres scored in the San Siro.
Yeah, he scored in the San Siro.
That means it must have been Gerrard with that long, shot across goal against Julio Cesar. Oi. Yeah. The second one.
No, he scored the second. He scored the first.
Oh. Ooh. I can't remember. I'll be honest. I can't remember. I remember that Gerrard one, how it went in, but I don't remember the first one.
Dirk Kuyt.
How did he score? Because I'm trying to.
So ball came over from across. The ball sort of came to him, and he's hit into the ground. And I think he's either hit into the ground and it's gone in, or he took a deflection. Also, who got sent off in that game for Inter Milan? Drift. I'll ask you that one since Matt got the goals one. So when we beat Inter Milan 2-0 at Anfield, who got sent off for Inter Milan?
I don't remember that. You know. I'm gonna keep it real. Can't remember.
It was.
Bro, you remember that?
Yeah, got sent off 2 yellow cards, and the game was pretty much attack v defense until Dirk Kuyt got his first goal in. I think it was his first goal in the Champions League for about a calendar year or a good little stretch. He went on a little goal drought, but the man for the big occasions didn't let us down. So obviously, Drift, you did the show earlier where the draw is being made for the second time. How are we feeling about it? Because obviously you guys know my thoughts on it. As long as we didn't get Bayern Munich, I'm all right.
Yeah, the feeling around the show at the time was we can beat Inter Milan, which I don't think we should fear many teams. Anything can happen. It's like I said to the people at the time, in this world, there's possibilities and there's probabilities. And possibilities, we can float around as much as we want. But probabilities, you have to take serious. And it was possible Salzburg could beat us, but it wasn't probable. You get what I'm saying? Inter Milan, it is a bit of a different story. Like, people will say we should beat them, but when you take form into account in 2 months' time when the game happens, remember the game's not next week, the game's in February. We could be out of form, they could be bang in form, they can make 1 or 2 loans or purchases in January to make their squad better. We could have injury problems. There's so many things to factor in that could happen between now and then. You don't want to play a team that has ballers in it. You just don't, because on any given Sunday, you know what I mean? A Martinez can just pack one in the top corner, and do you know what I mean? Like, when no disrespect to Salzburg, but there wasn't really anyone in that Salzburg team as an individual you'd be worried about. You'd just be thinking if they come and they put on a group performance, it could make it difficult for us. Do you get what I mean? It's that type of vibe. When you play Inter Milan, they actually have individual players who can come up with individual brilliance. So it's not just about worrying about them as a team. So obviously, I'm just looking at it from a point of view of the difference between the two teams. It's got a lot harder than it would have been. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, everyone in the chat at the time was saying, Inter Milan is still not the worst team in the world. We avoided Bayern Munich and PSG, which is obviously, I mean, we couldn't get Bayern Munich, but you know what I mean? Like, they're the two teams outside of the English clubs that you really want to avoid. And then I guess when you look on face value, Juventus, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, they're the other teams in the competition that at some point, if you have to face, you think, oh, well, that team's got pedigree, generally speaking. They're a big name, generally speaking. You just don't know what will happen on the day. You know what I mean? But to come out the group of death and then still have to play a relatively big side, pissing me off. Because let's be real, you win the group to get an easy round 16. That's why you're supposed to win the group. You know what I mean? And then winning the group hasn't even ended up getting us the easier of the game. So
I'm all right with it. I get where you're coming from, Drift, but I'm all right with it. Matt, I'm going to come to you now. So at the moment, as we speak, their top goal scorer in the league is Lautaro Martinez on 10 goals. Obviously, we know he's their main danger man, but they have got other players such as Dzeko, Brozovic, Perisic. Very good at right back with Dumfries as well. A player that a lot of fans really wanted in the summer after his performances at the Euros.
De Vrij is a good at the back for them. De Vrij, he's good.
Skriniar, whether he stays there or not beyond January, I know Tottenham are massively interested now that they're meant to be getting a few players as well. Remains to be seen. Obviously, Handanovic, who's timeless in goal. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who's a
Nico
Barella as well. Correa. They've got some top players. So who, in your opinion, is that real danger man for them at the moment for you?
As you said, you just listed off quite an assortment of really.
Sorry to cut you. Alié said Barella is suspended. So
is he suspended? Okay, for the first game. Okay, for the first game, fair enough. Because I think for me, he's like their, how can I put it, their main man in midfield along with Brozovic. Because I feel like Brozovic is the one that kind of tries to dictate play, whereas Barella's just like, he can do a bit of everything. I really like
Barella's quality.
In terms of like their main danger man, I think you can't ignore Lautaro because he is that good. And I think him playing with Dzeko has really helped him, because I was thinking if they didn't buy like another kind of big target man, like how they had Lukaku last season, he might have found a little bit wanting, but he hasn't done that. As you said, he's got 10 goals this season. So for me, I think he's their main danger man. I think, like you said, Inter Milan have got some really, really good players. They got some talented players. I think Salzburg, I know, obviously, I don't really watch them, but obviously, if I have seen them, I only speak about Adeyemi. That's the one that stands out for me if we were going to play them. So this is a completely different prospect. However, I am still confident, but it's going to be a lot harder than maybe what we think it's going to be, because just right again, we got to hope that we're in form when we play them. It's not just a case of, we got the better players, so we should just destroy them. Yeah. We got to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's on that day, and leading up to that game, we're on point. And hopefully as well, I don't want to scare everyone, but injuries are a key factor, because there's always injuries with us. It gets to a certain point down the line, and we have big players that are missing. So hopefully if we got a full strength squad, me personally, I'm confident of going through regardless of what, players that they put out.
So can I just say something quickly to the people who think that I'm being a bit negative or whatever? I understand people's confidence behind thinking that we should be able to beat Inter Milan, because to be fair, there's not many teams in Europe that we should be scared of if you're just talking about when we're on form. But what I do want to remind people is there's confidence and there's cockiness. And for me, it's borderlining, or it is cocky if someone goes, the fuck you worried about Inter Milan for? Like that's cockiness. That's not confidence. They're Italian champions. We can't start just getting smug about it. Do you know what I mean? They actually won the league last year. They're no pushovers. I know they lost Lukaku, but like, let's just keep it confident, not cocky. Like, we asked for Real Madrid and got knocked out. Remember that? Remember when everyone went, oh, who cares about Real Madrid, man? We'll beat up Real Madrid.
Injuries. We had the injuries.
That was me.
We had the injuries.
No, Cal, there was a lot of people saying that. There was a lot of people
I was steering the train still. I was steering the train.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and we got knocked out. So I'm just saying, like,
we got knocked up. Oh! That's exactly what happened to us.
Let's just pump the brakes on the cockiness. I'm cool with the confidence, but let's not do the cocky thing. Let's not do that. Inter, what are you worried about them for? We said that about Madrid. That's all I'm saying. So
you got a point,
Maybe Assassin says Roman just paid extra to get Lille again. Facts. I'm surprised Man City didn't get Norwich or Peterborough in the tie, to be honest.
Who did Man City get? Is it Villarreal?
I have no idea.
I think they got Villarreal,
When I didn't see Burton Albion and Norwich and
there was a couple of
the whole thing, so I can bring up to everyone just a little reminder.
And Shakhtar as well. I thought Shakhtar
there was a couple of people making some jokes with UEFA messing up and wanting to throw shade, saying they wouldn't be surprised if Man United or Chelsea drew Arsenal.
City got Sporting. I just saw a comment saying City got Wickham. That's jokes still. Rahil says, I think we'll realize how much better we are than top teams in other leagues. Our intensity and movement is the best in the world. We beat AC with kids. That is a fair point as well. That is a fair point. Yes, they're champions, but at the same time, you've kind of got to look at the whole landscape of the league as well. There's only really Juventus that could really put a challenge together last season, and this season, Juventus are completely in the mud as well. So, I'm looking forward to the game. As I said, as long as it weren't Bayern Munich, which we weren't going to get, I was pretty confident going into a game with any team. So I'm interested. What I did want to ask both of you, though, is a new rule change. No away goals.
Yeah,
that was there last year as well, wasn't it?
Nah.
No, this is the first year, Drift. So basically,
first year.
First year.
I'm sure I remember we played was it last year? I remember this rule coming before. This ain't the first time.
It's the first year, bro.
Nah, I can't have dreamt it. I'm sure in the previous year or two.
All right, just quickly as well, guys. Is the final draw after they messed up the first time?
Final draw.
Yeah, final draw. Salzburg, Bayern, Benfica, Ajax, Atletico, Man United, Inter, Liverpool, obviously Sporting. Oh my days, Man City got Sporting. Flipping out. I'm thinking of wow. Chelsea, Lille, Juventus, Villarreal, and PSG, Real Madrid, bro.
That's the big tie.
Mad.
That's a big tie. Now, this is the first year drift, because remember, there was talk when the Bayern Munich PSG game was happening last season. They were speaking about the away goal rule, and if the players scored a goal, what would happen?
It is the first year.
Porto Juventus as well.
Porto.
Juventus as well.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was the year before that. I must be losing my mind because I know I've watched the Champions League game of recent, and it was the no away goals rule. I cannot, unless it was like a tournament like the World Club Chat. I'm sure I've watched. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some.
This is. You sure you're not thinking of like? I don't know what you're thinking of actually. No, it's for definitely first year. Zabiri says, bless up my G's, hope all is well. Drift, you remember the kids slap up Syria leading team last week? I'm scared of nothing in Italy. We're moving to them. LOL.
Knockout football is totally different to group game football as well, though, guys. You've got to remember that as well.
Very true. But AC Milan had everything to play for, and we had nothing to play for in that game. We still turn them over still.
Even though AC Milan are top of the league, I'll still say Inter Milan have the better player.
No, Inter are top.
Oh, we're in the top now,
Yeah, AC
but AC was top when we played them, though, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
Inter's got the better players.
They do. They've got a better squad.
Inter's got the better players.
Yeah.
AM said, guys, you need to understand only a handful of teams can handle the intensity we play with. Agreed. But at the same time, we have to show respect to our opposition as well. So I do get where you're coming from.
That's it. Yeah. I knew I wasn't losing it. Big up yourself. Hold on. Who was it who said it? You'll never walk alone. Big up yourself. It was the qualifiers. I knew I'd watched games where there was no away goals. Do you remember?
So that would be this year, but this would be the first season still.
Yeah. But that's what's making me think
it was
such a long time ago. Qualifiers like in July or whatever, innit? That's what it is. Yeah. I knew I've seen some form of no away goal. Because somebody got knocked out who was quite a big team and had to go into the UEFA Cup, didn't they? Who was it again?
I can't remember.
Into the Europa League,
even UEFA Cup. That's sort of Europa as they call it now. Some tasty draws in that as well.
I haven't even seen the Europa one. What's the Europa
tasty
one?
Draws. I can't remember who Barcelona got. Barcelona got an easy game either. They've not got an easy game.
Bloody hell, Barcelona. They've got to go and win that now, surely.
I don't see it happening.
It might have been.
I don't think they got pierced. Oh, that got knocked out. So, but Barcelona played Napoli. That's who they got. Barcelona got Napoli. That ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah.
A-Spec Limited says Matt is Barella suspended for the tie. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. He got a straight red. He got a straight red against Real Madrid.
Jamrock says fire Bunye for in all his incompetence, corruptness. Yeah. I know you're an advocate of the Super League as well, though, Jamrock.
I know Jamrock is sitting home saying,
Super
League is getting closer.
What do you mean sitting at home? He's in the office with J.W. Henry right now.
Oh, yeah, he's in there right now.
This is where we pounce, John. This is where we pounce.
They are weak. They are weak.
And guys, if Barella got a straight red, that means he'll miss 3 games, right? So he misses the whole thing.
I don't think it works like that in the Champions League.
No, because it's gone. All right, so because it.
Are you sure? Is a straight red card still not always punishable regardless?
No, so sometimes it's. I just read some of that.
I don't think it
does.
But even if it's 2, that means he still misses both of our games. Then, right?
But I'm not sure because
what it is.
The article was obviously before this took place, the round of 16, and I don't know whether it not resets, but like
not if
it carries on. Someone is saying 2 games. So
not if you get a red. If you get a red, then it must carry over.
Because it's straight red.
Both games.
That's a massive miss for them because he's a baller.
Shouldn't have effed up. Shouldn't have effed up. Oh, no, I'm looking forward to a tie. Look, it's a prestigious tie as well. And let's be honest, the reason we want to be in the Champions League is to win it, but we also want to play good ties as well. It's a good measuring stick for where our team is as well, especially off the back of last season.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments, obviously. Smash the like button if you haven't. We're going to move on to the next topic, people. Let's do this. Righty. So, topic of the day, a second topic, shall I say. Are we over-reliant on a certain Mr. Mohamed Salah? Now, before I start, this is not me trying to dig out any of the other players for people in the comments who want to take things the wrong way. Chill out. We're a phenomenal team, a world-class team. I think we're top 3 in Europe, personally. Top 4 at the worst. But when I look at the goals so far in the league this season, Liverpool have scored 45 goals this season. Salah has contributed 23 to those 45.
Jeez.
So, I ask, is Salah performing so well that he just can't be denied? Or are we becoming a little bit reliant on Salah to make things happen at the moment? Matt, I'll start with you on this.
I can see why the question will be out there for rival fans to say we're becoming Salah FC and how they used to talk about us as being Suarez FC, right?
Yeah.
Because of how good the man is and what he produces.
And Gerrard FC before
yeah,
that.
and Gerrard FC. I fully understand it. But at the same time, no, because as great as he is, and he can win games.
Sorry to cut you. Sorry, Azim, he's got 23 goal contributions, so 14 goals and 9 assists.
Yeah, and what was I saying? Yeah, and because I forgot what I was now. Damn.
Sorry, Matt.
No, that's cool. It's cool. I just lost my train of thought.
You're saying about Suarez FC, Gerrard FC.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So in terms of like, obviously, rival fans calling us Suarez FC, Salah FC, Gerrard FC, his contributions have been massive. And yes, when you've got a talisman like that, it can be perceived as that. But at the same time, I'm gonna sit here and say no, because as great as he is, let's not act like if we had a mediocre team that Salah could probably still put up them numbers. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. But I think the reason why is because we have an amazing group of world-class players. We have the best right back, creative right back in world football. We've got the best left back in world football. We've got the best defender in world football, Virgil van Dijk. And not only that, I think we probably have to start speaking about Joel Matip as maybe being a top 5 world-class centre-back in world football as things stand. You got to look at your holding man, your destroyer, he's world class. You look at your captain, if he's not world class, he's literally just underneath. You look at Thiago dripping in sauce every time he steps on the pitch. And then you've got Sadio Mane, you've got Firmino, you've got Jota. There is a platform there that allows Salah to perform. So yes, he may get a lot of the headlines in terms of his goal scoring contributions, but let's not act like our team at world class. Let's not act like everything we do, so to speak, is to make sure. I cannot forget Alisson. Sorry, yeah, Ethan, Alisson as well. Obviously, let's not sleep on the fact of we've created a platform to allow him to thrive, and I think that's the difference. It's not like we are, no disrespect, an Arsenal or a Spurs or something, where literally it's just like, okay, they got a couple of players, but they haven't got like the amount of quality that we have. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So. Oh yeah, and D9. Oh yeah, of course, D9. But D9 over Salah all day, every day.
Yeah, but D9 sits in his own category.
No, I was gonna say D9 over Salah. If it wasn't for D9, Salah won't be here. Remember, D9. Listen, left the foundation for Salah to follow, innit? You know them ones there. Remember, he was at Kop's first game.
I mean, without D9, football is nothing. So,
yeah, football without D9 is nothing. Sorry, D9 not in football means nothing. Yeah. But yeah, no, all jokes aside though, Cal, I don't think with Salah FC. I understand why people say that again, and it is because of, he's so great, but he's the best player in the world. Like, here's the thing, Cal. When Messi was doing up the most in Barca back in the day when Iniesta and Xavi was there, no one called it Messi FC. They were just saying Messi's outstanding because you still had Iniesta there, you still had Xavi there, you still had Piqué there, you had Puyol there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So no, we are not Salah FC. And anyone that thinks that, I have to fully disagree with you.
Well, Matt, you put some very good arguments there where I'm struggling even to be devil's advocate at the moment. What I will say, though, is even though I'm trying to think how I can approach this to keep the convo going. Matt, you can't.
I got something for you. I got something.
No, I got one.
Okay. I was gonna say it's rhetorical.
Right. So obviously, every point you've made there is kind of just trumped what I was gonna say. But goals win games at the end of the day, and without goals, we don't get to the position where we are at the moment. Now, granted, Jota's chipped him with his. I think he's third top goal scorer in the league. Mane's chipped him with his. I think he may be top 5, top 6.
Yeah, I think
Salah's obviously well out in front. So again, not just the goals, but the assisting as well. Because obviously we don't effectively have that creative number 10 in the team or an out-and-out creator from midfield. Trent and Robbo obviously do their thing, and Tsimikas when he's played does. Yeah. But Salah again is still leading the way of assists as well. So is it a case of, when I say relying then in this way, are we expecting him to do too much? So Drift, I'll come to you with that one.
Sorry, I was just trying to sort this fucking dog out. What was the beginning of the question, please? Bro?
So I was saying, obviously, he's got 9 assists. So we haven't got anyone who's close to him on assists. So even though we know Salah to be the goal scorer of the team, he's now becoming the assister as well. Do we have to try and take that burden away from him and start spreading that around as well?
I'm just trying to look at the way the team flows in general. and I'm trying to think. Because if I'm being honest with you, I think we have a really balanced team. And I think everybody, to be fair, kind of contributes. I just think the way Salah is playing at the moment is so good that it's kind of coming across like we're a one-man team or whatever, but we're really not. Like, I've been a fan of one-man teams. I remember Gerrard carrying the team on his back. I remember watching teams like Man United win the league and Van Persie, and you're like, Jesus, if this guy wasn't here, they wouldn't even be in the top 4 and things like that. We're not that. Salah's just the guy. Like, Trent is unquestionably pulling up numbers that are just a joke. Robbo, like, people want to talk about Robbo. Robbo's the first highest assister in the last 3 seasons. Like, he's only just behind Kevin De Bruyne. Like, I think you look at our team, and I feel like because Salah's so good, it feels like he's contributing way more than everyone else. But I still think a lot of our players play their role. Like I do. Like, we're definitely not a one-man team. And when it comes to the assist thing, I'll say the only player in our team that maybe should kind of be touching Salah for assists would be Trent and Robbo, and maybe Firmino, based on being a false 9. His role is actually supposed to be an assist maker.
See, I disagree with that. I think his role is to draw players into positions to allow Mane and Salah to have more space in behind. I don't necessarily think he's meant to be an assistant.
But if he's going to get on the ball deep, then he should be also creating as well. I mean, obviously, he's missed a large chunk of football this season. So, it's not even his fault or whatever this year. But, I mean, if you go over the last, say, 3 or 4 years, who was the top assister in our team? It's kind of always been Salah, right? Maybe it's by design.
Trent and Robbo usually.
Trent and Robbo.
Well,
yeah.
Out of the front three, it's always been Salah pretty much.
Yeah, it might be by design. Yeah, it might be by design. Like, maybe it's just a small detail that we're not really realizing that maybe it's by design. Because if it continues to be that way all the time, I mean, I'll be honest, we are more attack heavy down the right than we are the left. I've always said that. I know people may not agree with it, but from what I've seen of us over the last 4 or 5 years of Klopp, I definitely think we're more lopsided to attack down the right than we are the left. So it might just be by design. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not even going to go into comparing other players to Salah in terms, because again, that's not the narrative I wanted to go down this route with, and I don't even want it to become one of those shows, because being honest, we shouldn't even be comparing our own players to each other. Like, they're just as we're all in one team, innit? But the reason I speak about this is probably where we're going to cover it in the next topic. But obviously, permitting injuries or suspensions or Afcon, do we have to look at different ways of creating goals, whether Salah's in the team or not? And again, maybe we've got to look at the chances missed as well, because again, Salah's top goal scorer, but Salah's missed a few chances as well. I think back to the Brentford game, for example, where he's missed. Mane's missed chances, Jota's missed chances. So again, is it a case of we are doing everything right, but the stats, which stats sometimes can do, is making it look worse for the other two than it actually is. Even though they've got a good return so far this season, their return could have been even better. In my opinion, Jota and Mane should both be in double figures for goals so far, when you look at some of the chances they've missed.
Yeah.
And Salah, in my opinion, could probably be on 20 instead of 14 goals. So again, it just shows. So maybe that's what I'm looking at. But look, it's not something to complain about. I think, Matt, you hit the nail on the head perfectly when you said about Messi and Barcelona's team back in the day. No one ever called it Messi FC. You look at Ronaldo at Real Madrid or Man United, no one ever called it Ronaldo FC. So we shouldn't be getting called Salah FC. And if anyone's doing that, I think they've just got to be in their bonnet.
Do you know what I also think as well? I also kind of feel like they won't say it, but in my opinion, it's their silly way of respecting how good he is. And they don't know what else to say to us. So it's like, they know that we have the best player in the world. The only thing that they can try and throw shade at is, he does it all. It's like, when he doesn't do it all, he's just the best player in the world. And what it is that you guys don't have that. Listen, what I'll say is this: being a Liverpool fan over the last how many years, has been amazing, because rival teams have been annoyed at us for having a Torres, a Suarez, a Gerrard, a Mane, a Salah, a Van Dijk. Listen, people, it comes to the territory. When you are the best, that's when you're going to get the most haters. And, we just got to sit there and smile and take it on the chin. You want to call us Salah FC? That's absolutely fine. It just means that you're acknowledging him as the best player in the world, like what you should be doing without having to throw shade. Facts.
And the results say facts. So I think, Matt, that leads us nicely onto the third topic, which still involves this man.
Just quickly, bro, as well, before we move on. It's kind of irrelevant what the score was in the games. Remember, Salah never scored for 4 games and we still won the games. So when people are doing the whole Salah FC as well, he went on what is considered a drought for him. He went 4 games and he didn't score a goal and we still won the game. So
tell him again.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the results are in. More facts. Raheel says, do you lot think it's a bit booky that us, Man United and Real Madrid, got harder draws? Owners were leaders of the Super League. Boy, who knows? No, Man United didn't get a harder draw, in my opinion. I think they got a slightly easier draw.
They had PSG in it originally.
Yeah.
They still got 2 hard draws considering they won their group, though.
Oh, who they got again? Let me double check. Who may not go again?
Atletico.
They got Atletico, bro. If you think about it, even though I don't care because it's Man U, to win the group and get PSG the first time around and then Atletico the second time around, you've got to be thinking to yourself, we can't get a little bit of an easier draw than that. Yeah?
Bun them lot, bro. They deserve it. Some of the easy draws they've got over the years as well. Like, bun them lot, bro. I'm over the moon. I really wanted to get PSG after when they knocked them out the last time. They were like, yeah, Rashford's better than Mbappe. I wanted them to get cooked this time.
Bro,
I wanted them to get cooked.
They would have fried them.
I know we beat Atletico, but do you think come February Atletico will have got their shit together?
The problem with Atletico is to beat Man United. I don't think you can be a team that sits back and hits them on the. Well, you can sit back and hit them on the counter, but you've got to be like, you've got to go at them, innit? You've got to take the fight to them.
More front-footed, innit?
Yeah, Atletico, they're such a weird team because they get the results.
They did it us, though, remember?
Yeah, but that was kind of our fault because we just weren't being.
Would you say they were front-footed though, Drift? I would have said that
they were front-footed against us.
I've kind of felt like we were so front-footed, and any like little mistake that we made, they kind of capitalized and just punished us.
No, Matt, don't you remember when they came to Anfield and we sat back on the Don Robbie show and thought, Atletico weren't even sitting back here. They're actually coming at us. Don't you remember?
Are you talking about in that game? Yes, they did.
They actually came for us.
I was actually thinking about when we got knocked out the Champions League.
Oh no, I'm talking about when we just played them in a group. They came for us. They didn't sit back.
They came forward a bit more. I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot more of that, I think, if they're gonna beat Man United. Because as Carl said, like if they do the whole sit back thing, Man United probably will beat them. Put it like this: if Atletico play to their best and Man United play to their best, I'm expecting Atletico to go through. I'll be quite surprised if Man United go through. And that's no shade on Man United. I just think Atletico being more organized and I think more of a team unit. And because Man United is still going through a transition, I think Atletico have to strike now. If they don't strike in the first game, I think they could be in a bit of problems.
Shout out to MG for your super chat. Zabiri says, Gerrard FC, Suarez FC, or Salah FC, we are scaring rivals FC. We are diversified trophy collection FC. Jeez, I like that one. I feel like this is what LFC Lee tells his people.
Hey, Zabiri, it's not even Friday, it's Monday, bro.
He's got smoke for every day of the week. Craig David. P. Al says, look at Barcelona and Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. Their main man had a higher goal assist percentage. How can we be Salah when Jota and Mane and Bobby are top 5 scorers? Trent second for assists.
This is what I'm saying.
Facts, Pete. Genie Houdini says, it may not show up in the stat sheet, but when you pay attention to Mane, he puts the fear in defenders' eyes, so unpredictable and direct. I agree with that as well.
I've kind of always thought that in terms of not for whatever reason, that's disrespectful. a lot of defenders and midfielders, whenever like they get asked like who's the person that you fear the most, they always say Mane. I remember even Trent said in training, like he's like, who's the one player that like is just like long to go up again? He's like Sadio. He's like Sadio.
Yeah,
he just doesn't stop. Like he just doesn't stop. Like
I've said this to you lot when we come in after games and Sadio's definitely had a way below his level of game. I always say this to you lot, regardless of how many misses he may have had or whatever, he is still always the one of the front three that's just constantly involved in the game and always looks on it. I've always said that. So he can have a bad game, but he don't hide. He'll still want the ball. He could have the biggest open misser you've ever seen in your life, and 2 seconds later he wants the ball again. He doesn't hide. He's constantly.
No, he doesn't hide. He doesn't hide.
Do you know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I think people underestimate, because you get a certain man that if they miss a chance, they go hiding. I'm not even naming any names because I'm not going to continue to be shady, but there's some teams with some players and their players miss a chance and then all of a sudden they're just shook and they just go hide it. They don't want no more of it. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Monkey King says D9 best non-false 9 at the club. Facts. You ain't gonna hear nothing from me. When the goats mention, the goats mention. Ronaldinho Goat says Salah is marked by 4 each game. Even if he doesn't score, his presence opens space for Mane and Jota. Just look what happened in the Champions League final versus Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that is going back a good little while to use that game. Though, I would say we've evolved low since game, but I get the premise of where you're coming from. To be honest,
we would have won that game if we never got that injury.
We know this, man.
Smoke them boys. Rahil says, even though Sadio has proper declined, I legit think he was better than Salah between 2018 and 2020. He was top three attackers in the world. This proves his drop off. I still don't think he's had a proper decline, as you say, Rahil. I agree between 18 and 20, he was our best attacker.
I agree with that. And not only that, I think I wouldn't say he's declined. I would just say I think his athleticism has slightly dropped off compared to Salah's, even though Salah's athleticism has slightly dropped off as well. And this is what you get when, remember, someone mentioned it earlier in the show in terms of like, the press that we put on people. I can't remember the wording that they use, but like the intensity, that's it. The intensity that we play at, that is always going to happen to those attackers who play like that. Because if you go back and watch a video of Sadio Mane from the 17-18 season specifically, up until 18-19 and then 19-20. I'm not gonna lie, you could actually see even on the eye that he's actually quite a bit faster than Salah in terms of top speed, and his acceleration is nuts. He's slowed down a little bit, but one thing I still love about Sadio is that just because he's lost that slight bit of athleticism, because he's like, if you're gonna do numbers, he's gone from being a 10, in my opinion, to like an 8.5/8.75, which is still a lot faster than a lot of defenders out there. But one thing I like about Sadio is that he's adapting his game for me. I feel like he's not just relying on the pace, and he doesn't always have to beat his man by making these long blasting runs. It's more like a drop the shoulder, or I slow the ball down and then see if I can just skip past you, like just quickly with a burst, kind of like burst of speed. So I rate Sadio for what he's doing, and Salah as well, because you won't realize it until you look at it. You go and watch about Mohamed Salah when we first signed him to how he is now. And I would say even Salah hasn't kept up the same top speed. And it's almost impossible. You actually can't. You actually can't. It's not humanly possible.
So, look, I don't want to drag this out. What I will say is I personally think Mane's had a bit of a drop-off. But I still think, in my opinion, he's probably still the best left winger in world football. So, yeah, he's had a drop-off, but who's better than him? So,
can I tell you what it is from a person who probably watches him closer than others? I genuinely think he's just living in his own head and has done for about 12 months. And I think he's overthinking things. and this can happen to anyone, where if you lose a little bit of confidence or whatever it is, and then you start forcing it. Remember that finish he did against, was it Burnley, when Salah did that outside of the foot pass to him earlier? No, Watford. It was Watford, wasn't it? You see that finish there? That's old school Sadio. Don't even think about it. Just run onto it, bang, hit it, goal. Now he doesn't do that as much as he used to. It's like he overthinks it. All he's got to do is just find a way to get back that confidence so he's not forcing it. That's all I think it is. Loads of chances now. I just see him overthinking it. Whereas before, he just used to be, he's an instinctive player, isn't it? Like Mane's an instinctive player. He's not a Michael Owen or an Alan Shearer who, if you give him time in front of the goal, he'll come up with 5 different ways to score. Because he's a wide forward, he's not a striker.
Would you say, because even looking at on the eye, can you still see a little bit like he's not as fast as he used to be? Because for me personally, I can see it.
No, I just think he doesn't use his pace as intelligently as he used to be. So back in the day, I feel like he used to know where and when to use it. But now, because he's always overthinking things, sometimes he'll let a defender catch up with him. And it'll be like
there's signs.
Let's not do this today. Let's not do this one today, because he's going to be someone we speak about in the next segment. Rahil says, lads, you have seen the compilation of Salah assisting Bobby and Sadio last year, but both of them were missing sitters. He could have had 15 more assists last year. Very true, but I think you can put a compilation or trailer together for any top player, and you could do one for Henry and see how many Bergkamp missed, and Ljungberg and Pires probably as well. So I don't want us to get into the realms of, like, on the flip side, though, I've seen Gerrard, for example, have compilations where you're like, he's actually putting it on penalty spots for people, literally, and they're still missing it. Whereas some of Salah's weren't as easy as they could have been. But some of them, yeah, he could have had a few more assists and should have had a few more assists. But again, it works in the opposite direction. We've seen Mane and Bobby set up Salah, and Salah's missed as well. So it's not all just one way. And again, not even trying to shade anyone, because I rate all of our players, but it's not just one-way traffic with that.
Plus, our midfielders are scoring goals for the first time. I think this is the most any of our midfielders have ever chipped in with goals.
I think you're right, yeah.
Nino says, greeting, guys. In my humble opinion, Salah's numbers is partly because the right side have been more fluid than the left. Probably, yeah.
I think, the triangle is better on that side.
Ash says, good evening, boys. Just here. Don't know if you've talked about Etu publicly calling for Matip to come out of retirement. I don't like it selfishly. I don't blame Etu. He loves his country and wants his country to have the best centre-back available to them. I don't blame him. I don't see Matip coming out of retirement, no. But if anyone is going to get him out of retirement, it's going to be Samuel Etu.
Yeah, it would be him. He's putting on the heartstrings, but yeah, I think if Matip was younger, I think he might have done it. But I'm wondering whether if he kind of knows to prolong his career, he would like.
It's not even
have to.
It was a political reason he stopped for as well.
Yeah, he actually had like issues with the actual like country itself and stuff. So
I'm just saying though, if he was younger, and like, because even then you think different as well. Like, but you're right though, it was political.
And they punished him. Remember, he might.
Yeah, I remember. Punishing me, right? Yeah.
LFT Sports TV says, well said, Matt, spitting the facts, man. Like, for Prime Minister, you'd be running the country better than these Muppets at the moment, Matt. Also, big up Kopish, keep the good work, smash the like button, big up to yourself. James, been a minute, James. Hope you're well. Bless my G's. Hope you man are all good. That draw was a joke. Plus, they want to see PSG and United in the final. CR7 v Messi. UEFA equals the Gambino family. For real.
They changed their minds in it last minute. Hold on a minute. We can't have them in the.
It's too early. It's too early.
It's too early. We need the views. We need the views.
Ronaldinho Goat says Mbappe is better than.
No, he's saying Mane.
Yeah. Well, look.
He's saying Mane over Mbappe.
I don't want to do this, but Mbappe's got to prove it in the top league before he could be put in a conversation with Mane, in my opinion. Not even shading Matt, but he's not touching Mane.
I'm not saying. I didn't even say anything.
No,
I'm
but I
just
see
smiling.
your facial expression.
No, because I like the question. I like the question. The question is fully loaded.
He's not talking to Mane. Look, Mbappe's quality, but let's put the brakes on a little bit, in my opinion. When you're comparing him to Mane, who, in my opinion, is the best in the position and has been for about 3-4 years.
Mane's got the consistency thing, 100%.
Ramiz says, hi lads, bit of a mad one. Would you take Dele Alli to play in that false 9? I think Sadio will not be as consistent as he used to more ups and downs now. To answer your question from me, so just short answers, boys. Definitely not taking Dele Alli.
Hell no.
Don't know about you two.
No.
So it's nose across the board.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we might see more ups and downs from Sadio, but again, I think he set such a high level that it's kind of, it probably is one of those things. And that's when I say, even though he may have had a bit of a drop off, he's still that guy still. It's like if he was performing it as a 10 from 2018 to 2020, maybe he's performing between maybe about an 8 as an average now. Like, still not going to get many better than that. Genie Houdini says, fellas, who's your second favorite player at Liverpool? We know who your favorites are.
I don't think they did know our favorites.
Yeah, you guys know mine. Mine's blatantly obvious.
I'm guessing he means of all time. He must mean of all time, innit? Because he's saying, I'm guessing we all know that Gerrard would be like number one.
Oh,
we can do both. So of all time,
second favorite of all time.
Yeah, Griff, who's your second favorite of all time?
Ooh. I don't think I'm allowed to say his name.
I know who you're gonna say. I know you're gonna say
as well. Just
rip the band-aid off, bro.
Yeah. Just separate the man in it from the pundit in it, or the baller from the pundit in it.
Or the man from the Man United.
What did he say today? He goes, gonna be mad this second draw. Teams are either gonna get a really better opposition or a worse opposition, innit?
You wanna know what? Yeah, it's mad. I probably would actually say my second favorite Liverpool player of all time is a tie between Owen, Torres, and Mane.
Fair enough. Matt,
second favorite. Oh, this is really tough. Because even first, like, obviously, man grew up on Barnes, but Stevie G, like, I can't even lie, I can't really relate to Jonathan these days. Jordan. You know what I'm gonna do just for now, because the way he's kind of moving, I don't really like what he's saying. I don't want to do it too much, but now big up John Barnes though. It's a tie between John Barnes and Robbie Fowler. Yeah. John Barnes and Robbie Fowler, and the reason being is because, yeah, man, because obviously Gerrard is just the guy for me now. He's the GOAT for me. Barnes is how like brought me into Liverpool, so he'll have that kind of thing for me. But you see, Fowler for me, I remember when I was in school, and all I used to do was just pack shots in my left in the playground. I go, Fowler! Well, I used to just do the Fowler thing. Like, bro, I love Fowler.
Yeah, for me, it's Fowler.
No, one day, I'm gonna do a whole video or a whole show on Michael Owen. I really, really need people to separate the man from the footballer and just understand what he represented when he was in that red shirt. Like, I'm sorry, it baffles me. Like, I get he went United. I get it. Yeah,
it's not just that.
But he said some. No, as a player, he was mad.
Michael Owen. When Michael Owen burst through, yeah, the first 4 or 5 years of Owen's like career, yeah, was obviously at Liverpool. There are very few people who's more sensational. I'm sorry, people forget. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that one day. I really am. People really sleep on Michael Owen. They do.
Reach out to Michael Owen.
Like, it baffles the hell out of me. It really does, man.
Do you separate the man and the player for Suarez drift?
We always do on here, because if we didn't, then we'd never even talk about him.
I'll be honest. If we, and again, I'm not. What I want to say is a caveat straight away is Owen is not in the same realm as Suarez. That's
no, they're in a different. No, I just have a go.
We still. I mean, let's be honest. In terms of talent, Suarez would probably be our second favorite or third favorite had he not done the crap he's done. But none of us have even thought of mentioning him.
No, but whenever people talk about him on the channel, we always separate the man from the football. Otherwise, we'd never mention him. So we do, you know what I mean? We do separate. Otherwise, we'll be like, yo, don't ever say his name ever again because we obviously know what he represents. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
If Owen was in, like Drew said, if Owen was in today's market, let's say Owen burst for the scene now. I'm not gonna lie, Owen would all be like £100 million player. You know, I can't even front.
He'd be talked about.
What's the difference between Haaland and Owen? What's the difference?
No, very different. Very different.
No. He's just talking about like talent.
In terms of talent. There is not much.
Remember, Owen would have been
dare I say it? Owen was probably doing it at a higher level and for international.
Exactly, bro. He was doing it in the Premier League, bro.
But here's where I have to have
a World Cup at 18 years old.
Listen, all jokes aside, I love what he done for Liverpool. But you know what makes me laugh about Michael Owen? This is one of the quotes that he said today. Everyone is going to have a better or worse draw unless you draw the same team.
Why are you judging the pundit, bro?
No, but it all comes into it, bro. We talk about Scholes of football and we talk about him sucking toes as well, bro. So it's like no one's safe, Drift.
No, but that's because that was madness, Cal. That's
Michael Owen, he's just too much joke as a pundit. It's so mad because he probably says things that you would say in your head. Like, they're one of them ones. Like, he'll just, you're not supposed to say something in it. You'll just be like, this is gonna happen still. But because he says it and he looks around like, I have to say something really important there, innit? Everyone else looking at him like, fam, what are you talking about? Of course.
You just got the executives upstairs like, oh, get him off the mic. Hill says his burst / acceleration has 100% gone. Let's be real.
That's some money.
Again, don't think it's gone. Think it's decreased.
I think it's decreased, not gone. Not gone. This is what I'm saying.
He'll burn 9 out of 10 defenders in the league. So
he's been burning people.
Yeah.
Like,
he can still burn people.
He was for Salah the other day when Thing was trying to catch him. Like,
your brother's mad. It's like if someone's not a 10, it means you can't burn someone. It's like, do you realize not that mean you're what you're trying to say? Your opposition they're all 10s, and you have to be a 10 to match them or something.
Drifty from Jamrock. Drifty, every Mane critique has a caveat by you. Why?
Because I need to slow down the agenda because Mane and it became Robbo for a little while as well. I feel like it like the piling on becomes a bit much. So I've got to create a little caveat because otherwise it would just become like a bashing thing, and obviously that's not what we want.
Pause. Haji official says Sadio Mane more skilled, too fast for his own good at most times. Mo has bad touches and average close control, but Mo has better goal scoring. Sadio Mane needs consistency. I don't think Mo's got average close control either. Still,
see Mo do the tippy
I see Mo back into defenders and hold it still. So I don't know.
Do you know what it is? I'll say is
they've set the bar so high now. People almost expect perfection.
Skilled. No, what it is, they're just both highly skilled players. They're better at different things. For example, if it's a weak foot competition, I'm putting more money on Mane. Like if someone said you got to score, I don't know, scores many goals from outside the box, you got 10 chances. I'm picking Mane. If it's heading, I'm picking Mane. Do you know what I mean? There's differences, I think.
Yeah. Dean says Mane eye test ain't pretty anymore, but goals, assists are okay. Not as pretty as it used to be. I agree. Not as pretty as it used to be. Still not ugly.
I think. Yeah, no, it's not ugly.
Hey, you see what I'm saying? Like everybody has something to say about him. So
no, but that's because we're speaking about him at the moment, no, Drift.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, I've noticed that somebody's got to keep the positivity, otherwise it just all becomes like mad.
Mane plucked the ball at the sky with his left foot literally the other day. Anyway, sorry.
Niger says Mane's underlying numbers are good this season, through balls and big chances created. It's not all doom and gloom, but I hope he gets more goals and assists. Agreed. Jamrock says, what does other people's agendas have to do with you? regarding Mane and Drift?
Because we're all here as a community talking. So if everyone's just piling on and being negative, then I'm not just gonna sit back and just be like, yeah, everyone be negative. You gotta be like, hold on a minute, let's keep it level.
I do think there's a difference between being negative and criticizing Drift.
No, criticizing is fine, but like I said, there's certain players. I saw it with Robbo, I saw it with Firmino, which is why I even said, you know what, guys, you know what, I might have made my own jokes or whatever, but we got to calm down a bit because it started to go over the top with Firmino and people cussing him. Mine, there's certain times I can see it going too far, and it's like, all right. Especially as an influencer, we know we're here on the camera. We have a responsibility as well. It's like if I can see it going too far into something, it's like, all right, let's pull it back a bit. Like even with the Origi stuff, obviously I always had faith in him. That used to go way too far. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that used to go too far. It was like,
where you got a wrist injury, bro? What's this, bro?
Yeah, right. Like, you know, even Naby, I even pulled it back when I could see that was going too far. And it was like, well, hold a minute now. Like everybody's just piling on too much. Matt, don't try it.
It's not just Matt questioning that one. He was still.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
I fully.
You don't know me. You don't know me. No, you don't know Naby. You don't know us. You don't know me.
Froggy says
I was the one who stood, I was the one who sat here and said that he deserves another year, and neither of you even agreed with me.
Hold on. I don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do it.
Do it. I've got receipts. I even know what video it was.
When we won the league, listen. When we won the league, you was all on like, yeah, bro, he's the best player in lockdown. He's sick. And then I remember he got injured, and you were like, this is what I'm talking about, Naby. You know, I just can't be bothered, bro. I'll be honest, I can't be bothered. And then, and then recently, remember when he had the great form against Man United, you jumped back on the bandwagon again because you're like, no, bro, this I'm talking. See, we all know it's about the talent. And then after that, when he got injured again,
have I ever said it wasn't about talent? Have I ever said it wasn't about talent? I've never ever said it wasn't about talent.
You keep flip flopping.
No.
You have
frustration for his injuries. Yes, his talent. I've never.
Am I lying?
Once. I've never flip flopped on his talent.
Let's move.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
let's read out the rest of the super chats and move on to
Naby. I got you, fam. You know I always got you, Naby.
Froggy says the triangle on the left is poor because of Mane, guys. Again, disagree with that.
James, so what did I say? Sorry.
The triangle on the left is poor because of Mane. Again, it's opinions. I personally disagree with that though, because Robbo's form this season hasn't been great either, and there hasn't necessarily been someone playing on the left-hand side like regularly this season either. Of midfield, I'm talking, by the way. James says, I'm old enough, but my favorite three is King, Kenny, Steven Gerrard, and John Barnes. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't get to watch Kenny playing week in, week out.
No, did I? Yeah, not week in, week out. No.
Nigel says that triangle is different because Mane plays more tucked in and deeper. Salah hugs the touchline, and the spare midfielder Hendo drifts right. Tell him again, Nigel FCTV.
I was just about to say, and since Genie left, Genie used to kind of come over to the left and help, and now he don't. There's no triangle or there's no way to help on the left side. Hendo constantly always helps out on the right. You see what I'm saying? We're more designed to be right-sided, I feel, than we are left-sided. There's a reason why Mane always comes back and helps more defensively. I know of the last maybe 12 months, Salah really has improved on that. But if you look at the course of the whole time we've had Salah, it was way unbalanced in terms of how much more defending Mane did to Salah. We were always designed more to go down the right side, in my opinion.
But Rahil says, I was watching Coutinho compilations recently, and I don't think of him being in our all-time Prem 11. Should be a debate. He's defo in it. He had everything.
Talent-wise,
Prem era, there's definitely. If we talk about Prem era, he's in.
A minute. I feel sorry for Coutinho because he never got to play in the best available Liverpool teams.
Yeah, if he was in the team, that's kind of like what we have now. Oh my, like, could you imagine him as the left-sided midfielder, so to speak, the most advanced? Goodness gracious.
It'd be crazy.
Listen, I've always said it. We had our own Neymar. It's a pity what happened, but Coutinho's talent was second to none, man. He was different. He was different, man.
Oh, as my mum always used to say, if you lay down with Doug, you're gonna catch flea. Faisal says my left back John Arne Reesa. Drifty said Owen. Look, Owen was a baller back in the day, man.
He was. I think we could just take out the whole who you play for. Just talk about what, like, yeah, at Liverpool. Like, I can't lie, he done a madness. Owen done a madness at Liverpool. I'm never gonna.
Owen, when we won the UEFA Cup, Owen away at Roma, away at Barcelona.
Owen done a lot, you know.
Like, I get away against Roma and Porto. He didn't score away against Barcelona.
Did he not?
No, we drew that game 0-0 and then won a reverse leg.
I still remember the game against Arsenal where we had no right to win the thing, and Michael Owen just went, "No, I'm not having it."
Yeah,
I'm not having it.
Michael Owen was different, man.
If Suarez scores the winner at Old Trafford and knocks United out, and then does the Stevie G style screaming to the camera and says, "You'll never walk alone," would it heal a few wounds? Nah,
because it's not about. You know what it is with Suarez? It's not about the football. So, like, I know what you're trying to say. Big at yourself, Ash. I see what you're trying to do. But with Suarez, for me, and probably for the guys as well, I hope I'm not speaking for them, is beyond football. So, like, what he does on a footballing level, yeah, man can say, "Oh, what you did on the pitch, yeah, that's calm, whatever. You done your thing." But the stuff you done off the pitch as well. And when I say off the pitch, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're not going to go into it now, but like, I know it was still on the pitch, but it's still not an actual football, like, sort of related incident, so to speak. It's bigger than that. So, in terms of what he kind of did, yeah, man can't really.
You know what?
Can't vibe it, man.
Because a couple of people have asked me the question about it's the Man United thing, why they hate Owen, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I completely understand, but you just have to take yourself out of that kind of like whatever you would tribalism just for 1 second. If you were signing your last ever professional contract and it was Stoke or Man United, Championship football or Premier League football, let's be honest, we can all sit here now and act like we'd be so Liverpool. None of us are going to play at Stoke. Let's just keep it real. Sometimes you do have to try and separate your tribalism and get the reality of what it is. Just the same way Rafa just took that Everton job, because as we said, he lives in the city. He does love Liverpool. He needs to work, whatever. I don't really see that many people going ham at Rafa right now. And to me, being manager of Everton is no difference to going and playing for Man United.
Massive different drift. Owen came for our academy. And the way he left for Real Madrid.
Rafa's one of our best ever managers.
No, but that is the point, though. He was one of ours. He came through an academy, took us to some good heights, left us in the way he left us, then didn't come back, and then went to Man United and won a league.
Didn't come back because we didn't let him come back. Remember that?
No, because he left. He left us in the first place. That was his fault.
How you thought he had an agreement that he would be brought back to the club within 2 years,
can change,
and the club turned their back on him.
Agreements can the club didn't turn their back. They weren't just going to match an offer that was well overpriced.
So they still turned their back because they promised that they would bring it back, and they didn't.
No, if anything, anyone's to blame in that situation is Michael Owen, because he could have turned down going to Newcastle.
We're not going to do this.
He could have, Drift. He could have, bruv.
Yeah, Real Madrid were forcing him out, Cal. So
he could have still said
choice.
No.
He didn't want to be a Gareth Bale and just sit in the.
He wouldn't have been a Gareth Bale. He'd have still played. Baby Assassin says, Drift, Hazard in the Prem or Mane? Who are you picking?
Oh, Hazard was sensational still. I'm gonna go Mane based on consistency. I think that's one thing Hazard didn't have was consistency. As a footballer, Hazard was different, but he didn't have that consistency. You know what I mean?
Rahil says, who do you think has the best first touch in our team? I think it's between Mo, Thiago, and Bobby. Can't decide which order.
It's definitely Thiago or Bobby.
I think it's Bobby.
I think it's out of Thiago and Bobby. I'd also put fourth as Trent as well. I think Trent's in there. I think people sleep on Trent technically as well.
Yeah, like Trent does have The way he controls those Virgil passes every week.
Yeah, I think it's probably Bobby though, because I seen Bobby just control the ball. I'm like, no, that's actually just stupid.
I'm not gonna lie though, Thiago's first touch is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's between those two. It's between Thiago. It's the Brazilians, isn't it?
Yeah, Bobby's variety, and I think because I feel like Bobby has a slightly better weak foot, like left foot. There's some, bro. I've seen some things with Bobby. I'm just like, how are you doing that? Cuz
it's crazy.
It's mad, you know. Bobby's technical ability is crazy.
Mr. Dale says
a better weak foot, but yeah.
Football IQ, VVD, Thiago, Ali, Mane, Trent in that order. Also, if you're FSG and you have to sell someone next to fund the transfer kitty, who you selling, but you can't sell Salah.
I think we've spoken about this, unfortunately, especially as they've been performing well this season. It probably would have to be Ox and Naby, one of the two, if not both, just based on availability, innit?
I mean, if we're selling someone for the case of having to rebuild the squad, though, if I'm going to take like emotion out of it, it'd have to be Mane. He's the only one who can garner us that sort of a fee that would potentially give us a player or two that we can go and buy. Like Ox and Naby ain't going to get us that much money. Mane can still command a high fee. I don't think Bobby would.
You're right.
But then you have to spend twice as much to replace him.
You might not have to replace him directly because you could play Jota there and get a Vlahovic and someone else maybe. Again, it's not what I'd want to do, but it's the only other player in our squad we can sell and get money for.
If I was being ruthless and I just had no emotion and you just said like, all right, so you can't sell Salah, yeah? Who would I just sell? Like, I'm just gonna look at us. Who can fetch us the most money? Believe it or not, I would never say to do this, but I'm just saying like who could just fetch us money? But just be Trent, innit? You could sell Trent for some dumb cash. You would never want to see it. But Trent is one of them people where it's like, I don't know, like Man City. If you just sell him in it or something. No, but again, that's just me being. I'm just being stupid. I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
it's not a crazy.
Oh, if you're talking about valuation, if you're talking about valuation,
I'm not talking about would I do it because I see like someone's ready for effort.
Well, Alisson would probably
come on, bro. Man,
speaking. Van Dijk was still.
You need to calm down before you get blocked, fam.
Yeah, let's move on. Jamrock says, shouldn't your analysis be just yours and not balancing other people's critique? Just asking because it seems you caveat your answers with he's not using his speed because of X, he doesn't hide, etc. This might be a Friday conversation, Jamrock.
Jamrock, really want to go the back and forth tonight?
I mean, Jamrock, you do the same thing when we talk about FSG, big man. So,
Jamrock, you're a rebuttal to that one, bro. James says Owen can never be forgiven. Bun Owen Drifty. Yeah, I can't kind of with James still. Kind of
it's a bit harsh because Owen ain't Suarez. It's just that he played for our rival.
10 years after he left.
It don't sit well with me. But I can't, no. It don't sit well with me, but I can't take out like what he done for Liverpool.
Bro, if me and my missus split out, brother, one of you two got over in 10 years' time, bro, it's still war, bro. Like, it's still war, bro.
That's totally different.
It's not, bro. It's
no,
not.
But all right. This is what Drift was saying.
Football don't have the same level of loyalty as friendship does.
What would happen if the world was ending and we was the only ones left? That's what Drift's trying to say about Owen. He's trying to say there was only Man United.
Yeah. Oh, the only comparison would be something that's like I don't even want to say it because it's like very morbid, but like
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be with Kyle on this one. I don't give a damn. I don't care if the world's ended and I see
because
you.
Because there's a much greater attachment to loyalty and friendship than there is in football. We know this.
Yeah.
Well, no, but players. I expect it from academy players. I do Drift. Like I've never seen any Man United academy players linked with Liverpool. But we looked at Tom Heaton this summer. He weren't having none of it, bruv.
Listen, anybody who knows Michael Owen's story knows that on 3 separate occasions, him and his agent begged the club to do what they said they would do initially and bring him back. And every time we said no. So to be honest with you, we can't be angry at him for making his own life decisions when we said no to him.
We moved on, bro.
Jamie Carragher begged the club to bring him back. Everybody said, and the club said no. You can't blame him for that. So
all right. So I'm gonna put it this way. Say for example, again, I'll use myself as an example. I said to you, Drift, Matt, I'm gonna leave Kopish for a while. Can I come back in a year's time? And you man are like, yeah, Cal, do your thing in a year's time, we'll bring you back. But in a year's time, I come back and I'm like, you're not gonna have to pay me a high salary to join back the team. And then also, you man have already moved on. Let's say you've won a YouTube trophy because we just won a Champions League. And I'm like, I want to come back, but you man have got to do this and do that to get me back. You take
but that's not what Owen did, though, Cal. You're changing it now. Michael Owen was ready to take a pay cut to come back to Liverpool, bro.
But the pay cut wouldn't have mattered because we'd have had to pay a high transfer fee for him.
No, bro. All we had to do was match Newcastle, bro. 15 mil. You're telling me that was too much for Michael Owen?
Double what we sold him for the year before.
Yeah, but he only had 1 year left in his contract.
But remember, Benitez
because he ran down his contract, bro.
Benitez
not on purpose.
It just happened. I can't lie.
Bro, come on. You know we've been messing up with contracts for a little while still.
No, not with Owen, bro. He even said it, bro. Like, he said he ran his contract down because he wanted a new change, bro. He said he wanted to go Man United because he wanted to win the Premier League. Like, he said these things, bro.
He never said it. In what I saw, he didn't say he ran.
Bro, he said it. It's documented, bro. It's documented. Ronaldinho Goat says Mane still beats his man. It's his decision making. Again, agree with that. Do agree with that. Zabiri,
that's what I said. Decision making. He's overthinking things. That's what I said.
Just as Shanti says, do I blame Maka? No, because Maka tried numerous times to renew his contract and they messed him about. The club messed
they messed up Maka because Maka became one of the first free Bosman, innit?
Yeah. They messed Maka about.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Zabiri says, Kopish rebuild, who you selling? Matt is a big bag.
Hey, listen.
Indispensable.
Tell me, they can sell me today. I will just do, you know what I mean? I'll do my like Matt show all day, every day, people. Get it trending.
Baby Assassin says Hazard being inconsistent is a myth just because of the one season. For the rest of the 6 seasons, he balled out and was a top 3, top 4 players in the Premier League for each of those seasons. I kind of disagree.
No, there was still numerous games within his good seasons where he was still have insignificant patches for a couple of games here or there. So it was a baller though. Hazard was levels.
Pete Al says, who had more talent, Bale or Owen?
Bale, probably.
Probably Bale.
I think it's hard to compare. Like,
I was going to say their positions are very different.
One's a natural goal because if you talk about, you can't talk to Michael Owen when it comes to
one on one in front of goal. No one like
Michael Owen is like Owen's a 9.5 out of 10 in front of goal. You know?
And with both feet, heading, different variation of finishing, go around the keeper, beat the keeper at his near. Like, he did everything, man. It's crazy. Owen's like his goal scoring was crazy.
The thing is with Bale as well, I would say obviously Bale was mad athletic, had an amazing shot, good technically with it. But you see, I think people kind of think like Bale was some like technical wizard. He wasn't like that, you know. Bale was a mixture of technical ability and athleticism.
And pace
I feel like
power.
some people when they think Bale, they think, right, man was just weaving like past play. Bale wasn't like that. Bale's sick, by the way. But you see, we talk about Hazard, like we were talking about a minute ago. That's Hazard. Hazard had that ability to do them things there. Bale didn't have that. Bale had it in a different way because he is very athletic, because he was obviously very quick, he was strong, and had an amazing left foot. But I wonder if people think about Bale and they just think man was just doing the most. Like, I don't know, man.
Bale was skillful, but I know what you mean. He wasn't Hazard skillful.
Yeah, because even the goals against like Inter Milan are literally legendary. But man literally kicked the ball and said, "I'm going to run after it and beat you for pace and smash it in." And don't get me wrong, that's still ability. But I just think people get carried away when we say like ability. I think people think of the amazing goals that he scored and think he get a bit carried away, in my opinion.
Harry says Salah, Firmino, Trent, Gini, Jota. Is there any manager better than Klopp in transition of a player's position? Pep only did it with Lahm and Bernardo Silva. No, I don't think there is. I think there is.
I think you have to add Cancelo to that list of Pep. And there's got to be one or two others, considering he plays loads of players like Sterling, De Bruyne. I think he's done it with more than just them.
I didn't even
But
say
he's not
out.
changed their positions though.
What about Kimmich? He kind of helped Kimmich out as well, though.
Nah,
at Bayern.
Kimmich was doing that before.
No, but I think he took. Remember, I never forget a game where he played Kimmich.
Yeah, before Bayern, no one cared about Kimmich.
I'll say he really helped out Kimmich. I'm not saying like he made Kimmich.
No, I'm not saying. No, we're not saying these players have improved under. Like every player is pretty much improved under Pep. We're talking about change their positions and still getting the best out of them. Mascherano is a shout, by the way. Mascherano is a hell of a shout.
Well, I'm trying to think. I swear he helped Kimmich. Maybe I'm thinking of like the kind of games where he might change his position, but yeah.
Monkey King says, I'm tired of all this sell talk. I blame FSG. We should be adding to the squad, not getting rid of our top players. Never hear from this from other clubs. Facts upon facts. Upon facts. My biggest frustration. Bassett one says, which three? Gerrard, Keane, and KDB, or Lampard, Vieira, Iniesta?
They actually took liberties there, you know. I can't have them front.
If Gerrard's in it, bro, I'm going Gerrard, bro. I'm going Gerrard.
I can't pick any three that has Lampard in it. I'm sorry.
You man, do your thing, Matt. You do your thing, bro. Because I know where you're sticking. You're in the mud, Matt.
No, I'm just saying, like,
you know, Matt. If you give an answer you don't want to give, you're in the mud.
You know, there's a small part of me that's got a feeling that he's never going to say it out loud. But I actually feel like Matt is
Zabiri, I'm sold, fam.
Matt
See you guys
can't say it because it ruins his 11 that we did in the draft. You can't say it. You can't say it. That should say enough to you people. You slept on my midfield still.
No. Hold on. No. It's gonna do that because obviously, like, Drift had Iniesta. I had Vieira. No one put Lampard in there.
Sorry, do you know what, say? I don't know if I had a brain fart. I thought it was Robbie Keane. He's talking about Roy Keane, isn't it?
Bro.
The first. Yeah, I don't know why.
Robbie Keane in the bang.
You know what? If that's Roy Keane, it's not even a question. It's the first one.
It's not. Yeah.
No,
it's not even a question. If that's Roy Keane.
No. What it is? What it is? I'll be honest with you. It's obviously Gerrard, but here's the thing, though. You see the other two. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, fam. Iniesta's smoking 3/4 of that list there. He just Iniesta, and then not only that, Patrick Vieira.
I don't think he's a better holding man than Keane.
What's that?
I don't think he was a better holding man than Keane.
But Vieira he's not a holding man.
In that midfield three, he'd have to be the holding man, bro.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he's not a natural holding man, but he can play the role. He's a CM. He can do everything.
No, he can, but in that midfield three with Iniesta and Lampard, Vieira has
to. I don't like it when people put Gerrard and Iniesta on opposite sides. Like, I don't like. It's just like
it messes with your heart.
It's not. No, it's not that. Gerrard is the guy.
You know what? I did not see any of this love for Iniesta when I put him in my team in the draft. Still.
Boy, what can I say, man?
Are you playing him left wing, Drift?
Yeah, all left wing and that, hanging them out to dry and that.
But I told you I rotated it. I said, I'm gonna go Baggio up front. I play Iniesta in the 10, and I'll put Cristiano left.
Him out to dry. I wasn't happy with your instructions.
Anyway, there's a little part of me that feels like that if you put Matt in a dark room and there was no cameras, no microphones, and he could do the Men in Black memory wipe thing, he'd put Vieira over Gerrard.
No.
Never. Are you never?
Oh, I never expect you to say it on camera, of course.
I wouldn't even expect it in a dark room, bro.
Yeah, they ain't got to do. It's as I said before.
It's just a theory. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
It's Vieira and Iniesta against who's was it? Because listen, I'm always Vieira over Keane, isn't it? Whether people like that, I'm Vieira over Keane.
No, I agree. I think Vieira's a better overall player. I just think
all right. So let me ask you this: take your Gerrard bias out of the way. This is for both of you. Who's better, Iniesta or KDB right now? Who's better? I'm gonna put you man on the spot. Who's better?
Oh, Iniesta.
Iniesta.
And who for you was better, Vieira or Keane? Who was the better player?
Keane is a holding midfielder.
You thought okay? So do you think Keane was better? Who do you think I was better
as an overall footballer? Vieira.
So you picked 2 out of the 3.
No, but again, Matt,
no,
no, because that's like saying if we were to do an 11 and you were like, who's better out of, I don't know, Maldini and R9. R9's better, but you're not going to play R9 as a centre back. So you have to look at the balance of the team, bro. There's a reason why there's a holding man on each side of the team.
All right. No, but all we're saying is this year, who was like in their era, in my opinion, Vieira was better than flipping Roy Keane.
No, he was, but not as a DM.
Actually, yeah, not as a DM, because obviously that was Gilberto's job, innit? But as a player, for me,
Gerrard smokes Lampard.
I'm just doing it as players, I'm not thinking about position. I'm just talking about as players. If I wanted to, I'll worry about all the technical stuff and tactical stuff. I'm just talking about as players. That's how I'm picking it, innit? So Iniesta's better than KDB, Vieira's better than Keane, but obviously Gerrard smashes Lampard, in my opinion. It's not even a debate. All it was just that Lampard was an amazing world-class goal-scoring midfielder, but as a player, overall footballer, Gerrard kills Lampard. Sorry, let me not use that word. That's a bit harsh. Gerrard is better than Lampard. Destroys it. Let me not use kill.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, boys. Okie dokie. So next topic on the agenda is if Mane and Salah go to the Afcon early, they could be missing the Chelsea away trip in the Premier League. Now, if that were to happen, and just speaking in terms of when they are out of the team, how would we line up our front three? Who would be your starting front three if everyone's fit and available?
So just ask that question again quickly, bro.
When Mane and Salah go to Afcon, there's rumours that they could miss the Chelsea game. My question is, who is the best front three we can put out in their absence?
Jota, D9, and Firmino. The only thing is, I'm trying to figure out how you balance it.
That's what I was just going to ask. It's got to be balanced.
You'd have to play D9 off the left, which I don't like, but it's the only option, isn't it?
And then what, Jota from the right?
Yeah, it's actually the only option.
Let me throw a couple of curveballs.
If you play D9 down the right, then he can't shoot. He'll have the ability, he'll have the pace to be able to beat a man, but if he can't cut inside and have a shot, you're just taking away his biggest threat, isn't it?
Or could he just try and beat a man and put the ball across the box for Jota and Firmino?
But that's not his game. Crossing thing. It's a target.
No, I'm not talking about crossing, but getting into the box and putting the ball into dangerous areas.
If I'm being honest with you, I'd actually rather Firmino played wide right than Origi.
Oh
no. Would you?
Yeah, because then at least 2 out of the 3 players are in their natural position. Because deep this, if you play Jota right and Origi left, 2 players are out of position. If you play Bobby right, at least the other 2 are in their favorite position. Do you get what I mean? Like,
this was going to be my question and Drift. They may be the best 3 players available, but if the balance ain't right, one of them's got to sit on the bench, right? And who still comes in? Because I'll be real with you, no, it's a bit of a curveball. I think Taki's got to come into the conversation for the right. Harvey Elliott, unfortunately. Fair enough, right? So we'll take him out in your opinion then. Harvey Elliott, again, not someone I'd necessarily want to play up front on the right, but he's done it for Blackburn. Or
we've got to give him time to regain form, though.
No, again, I hear that. But
fitness again, as well.
Another name, Gordon. Does Gordon have to get thrown in the deep end a little bit? And
too much pressure. If you're gonna do that, Cal, I got something for you. There's 2 options that I thought of. We can reverse the triangle and play Bobby behind Origi and Jota. So the triangle's reversed. You got that way. A 4-3-1-2. Another one is we could also play Curtis Jones. Now, I know Curtis Jones is still waiting for clearance from the specialist so he can train. But Curtis Jones wouldn't be the worst idea on the left. I know he's not. I've seen him play there before, and I think he's good enough. He'll just be kind of like, he'll be doing that Coutinho-esque role, so to speak, because he hasn't got the blistering pace, but he's good enough to beat his man, and he's good enough to be elusive and allow Robbo to overlap. Yeah, so you could do the Curtis Jones, Jota on the right, and Firmino for the middle, or Origi for the middle, or the other way, which I said, Bobby as the, behind Origi and Jota. So it's kind of like a 4-3-1-2. You've reversed the triangle. What about that?
I like the idea of reversing the triangles. We've never done it before, but at least we'd have a lot more threat. But that would be very reliant on Robbo and Trent to provide the width, though.
Because here's the thing. I was thinking the reason I even said that. I know we don't kind of officially reverse a triangle, but sometimes we kind of do. Because do you see the way how Bobby plays? Yeah, Bobby always drops deep, and it kind of like
and Jota's starting to as well. By the way,
and Jota's doing that. So it's kind of like they're occupying the space and allowing the others to kind of get into really, really good positions. It sounds like a massive formation change at the front, but it kind of isn't. So all it would literally be is Bobby dropping deep like it normally does, and Origi and Jota, who would start out wide, but also they're going to come a lot more narrow when we're attacking. But defensively, we defend in a 4-3-3, but we're attacking a 4-3-1-2. I thought to bring the tactics board, but it's not loading.
No.
But you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. Do we go for a formation change? I don't know. I think for me, the hardest position is that right-hand side. I think for the left and for central, we're covered.
So you know what we're supposed to do, guys? We're supposed to go and get cover in the window. That's what we're supposed to do.
That should have happened in the summer, so they'd have been settled in by now still.
Exactly. And to be fair, even if it was a loan deal, this is what I'm saying about FSG don't really have that much excuses based on balancing the books or whatever. We could bring a player in on loan for 6 months, just like we did with Kabak. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least you know that you've tried your hardest to make sure you've got cover. Like we really should be going to get right-sided cover, whether it's loan or permanent, because they should have been scouting, right? There should be people they know that they want right now. And we should be going and doing something in January. January the 1st as well.
Dembele, taking him on loan, guys?
You know what? I saw him the other day, and I realized that he was fit. And he actually was playing quite well in the game that I watched. But, like, you know what it is about Dembele? I just know that he's just one moment away from another 8 months on the sideline. Like, and the Premier League will hit him like a ton of bricks as well.
So he is, Jim. He's literally a rubber band. You know, you mess about a rubber band. You might just find one on the counter and you just go, you might be watching football and you're like, flip, let me go and get another one. That is Dembele, fam. You wouldn't know.
And it's quite ironic you said that because that's what his hamstrings keep on doing.
He is funny enough, as you said it as well, because I saw him play the other day, and what's so mad is
he still look good.
His pace is still I don't even know how it's even possible, fam. When I say to you, genetics is keeping him alive, a bit like Wolverine with the adamantium. It's genetics, fam, keeping my man alive because his football ability hasn't wavered in any shape or form. But you just know that he's gonna break down. It's only a matter of time. This guy could pull out a 10 out of 10 for 3 games in a row, and then on the 4th game, you're thinking, we're gonna see Dembele do it again. He just goes down, and then he's out for 4 months with a ruptured file, He's got chronic issues. Unfortunately, it looks like it anyway.
Let me ask you a genuine question. How about if we actually do play Trent as a wide forward?
No.
Take away from his game.
When you ever see Nico,
but it's not about taking away from his game. It's trying to fill a void in the team.
Yeah, but I think you take away from Trent's game, you take away from Liverpool as a whole.
Yeah, bro. Trent is needed in that position because Trent sees
so
the game.
Vital to how we play.
Trent sees the game where he is. If he's further up the picture, he can't really control.
He's Alonso at right back, bro.
Yeah. But we're talking about trying to fill a void while and have natural.
Why don't you put your boy Nico there? Why don't you try Nico Bale?
I would have said Nico, but you lot would have just laughed it off.
I wouldn't have laughed off. I wouldn't have agreed, but I wouldn't have laughed it off. Matt would have.
Matt knows he was just about. Look, Matt can't even hold his laughter.
No, I'm being serious.
Remember, you know the Henri gif where he's like. That's Matt right now. Easy A says Elliott, Jota, Bobby / Firmino sub. Sorry, Bobby / Origi sub.
Elliott, okay.
Zabiri says, hold up. Topics on transition. I just messed myself at work. You man keep moving forward and up. Loving the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe.
I hope it must not too bad, bro. So I know you do a lot of work, bro. So make sure you're safe. Make sure.
Man's working with others as well. Tech times with you.
Innit? For real. Be careful, bro. Trust.
Ash says Heat map from Ox on Saturday was actually playing more of a tip of a dime with Mane and Salah tucked in. I think Klopp was trying this out to trial for the Afcon. Firmino as a tip, D9, and Jota tucked in.
What can I say? My tactical breakdown matches that. I mean, I'm joking, but
yeah, it could work.
When you think about it, it kind of was. When you think back now, I mean, let's be real though. I thought Ox was in this position.
Super chat breathes life into me.
And another thing I'll say as well, Origi's left foot is slept on. So you see, Drift, you said if you play him on the right, he can't shoot or can't cut in and shoot. If you look back at some of his goals from Lille, and I know we're going a little way back here, but it's the only thing I can use.
No, but for Liverpool.
No, not that he can't do it, but what I'm saying is his strength. You're just taking away from his strength.
I disagree. I think you're actually adding to his game, Drift, because he's more unpredictable. Because when he plays on the left, I think people expect him to cut in. If he's on the right, people don't know whether he's going to go on the outside or cut in on his left. I think it works better for him on the right.
You know what?
I just
D9's different with it.
Based on his last game for Belgium, he actually had 2 or 3 shots with his left foot coming from the right hand side. So you might have a point.
Goat things. Goat does goat things, bro.
I forgot about that. I remember when you said we see him next.
Says, I don't want to hear no one cry about Mane going Afcon. You lot wanted him gone last year.
It's true, you know. It's true.
That super chat breathes life, and I wanted to say it, but I just couldn't be asked. I really wanted to say, all right, so if Mane's so pointless, why is everyone crying about him going Afcon?
Are they trolling?
I just couldn't be asked.
Someone's trolling, innit? They mentioned Brewster. I don't know if you saw that.
We sacrificed Brewster.
No, someone's like, this is where Brewster would come in. Are you trolling?
Oh, what? As in, if he was?
I'll be honest though, I do think Brewster stays at Liverpool. I think he's doing better than what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
because he's around better players and he's around a better manager.
He's doing better, but I'll leave it there. Still, I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I get why Brewster moved, but
might have to play tatted up Neeks out there, you man.
Yeah.
You'd love to see it, innit, Drift? You want to be fair.
Has he had a bad game in the last, say, 4 or 5 appearances?
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, you're right. He hasn't. It's what it is, though, Drift. I just don't want us to. What it is, I don't want us to shoehorn players for the sake of it, Drift. That's the only thing, because you know it's not his natural position. Because there'll come a time in the game where we want him to do something, and because he can't do it, we'll get frustrated.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good for his development either.
Be a decent stopgap. It's Chelsea why it is. If it was a different opposition, I'll be all right with it. But Chelsea's a very difficult game, so that's why. You know what I mean?
Fair dues. Right, let's move on to the next topic. So speaking of that right-hand side and also midfield, our players are starting to come back, and none other than a player who was seen to be the future of our club, but also on course to have a brilliant season. Harvey Elliott is nearing a return, apparently. Again, no specific date on his return, but it's looking like it's going to be closer as opposed to further away. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him either just before or just after the new year. Matt, when he returns, obviously Klopp won't throw him in to start 90 minutes straight away. How would you expect his minutes to be handled for the rest of the season?
I think with care, because he's been out for such a while with such a big injury and his age as well. You kind of just don't want to throw him back in there, re-injure him, and they're going to take care with him, just like how in a different way we're taking care of Curtis Jones and the whole eye situation. I don't want to see him rush back, if I'm being honest, Cal, because this kid here is going to be a star. The future is Harvey Elliott. One thing we don't want to do is, even as fans, just put so much pressure to the point where, you know, Klopp feels like he has to play him. And I know Klopp doesn't listen to outside, but I'm just saying that. Let's just say Klopp felt the pressure, maybe of the fans, whatever, and he feels like he has to play him. You don't want to see that, Cal, because if that does happen, you get worried that you might burn him out, and not only that, you might re-injure. Like, it's a delicate situation. I want him to be eased back in. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got the talent. This season is not going to define Harvey Elliott, believe it or not. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing we don't want to do. Don't think like if he doesn't come back and he's not exactly the same straight away. Like, don't worry. The kid's got time on his side, Cal, because he's an amazing talent, and he showed already this season that he can handle the pressure. So I hope Liverpool treat with care, and I'm pretty sure Klopp will, because for me, Klopp is normally very responsible when it comes to people coming back from injury.
So here's the thing. I know he's been out for a little while in match fitness, but the type of injury is not necessarily an injury where he has to be eased back in because of the injury. I think it's more a case of minutes under his belt, building up his like his resilience to playing in a football match. That being said, though, do you expect him to start playing in midfield when he comes back, or do you expect him to play higher up the field where potentially, let's say, for example, winning a game 3-0, rather than bringing him on in midfield where he could get into a 50-50 tackle, you put him up top and maybe he can do a few of his like nice, easy pass and just ease into the game? What would you expect there, Matt?
If I'm being honest, there is a part of me that feels like you got a point. He might play higher up because of the whole, players obviously going to be away at Afcon as well. So it might kind of coincide of maybe Klopp might try him out in that sort of right wing position. So, and maybe even to protect him, don't put him in that midfield three where, there's that potential of getting clamped, or if he gets caught on the ball again, like, you know what I mean? You don't want to ever see that. But at the same time, we've also got to give the kid confidence that he can still play there. So I think we're going to see a bit of both. I generally feel like Klopp's going to kind of experiment with him. I think you'll play him a little bit in midfield to see if he can still get the balance right with Harvey. Is he up to speed? Because remember, Harvey, even though he's not the quickest, was doing a lot of smart pressing when he first started. Do you know what I mean? And in the Salah position, like I call it, the right side of Salah position, I would say, he might look for a solution, and Harvey Elliott could potentially be a solution. But I just want to stress, though, Cal. I want him to be eased back in. I don't want him to be thrown back in and then there's a setback, because that's my always worry when it comes to young players. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we need Harvey to kind of continue in the path that he was setting for himself. And the only way to do that, Cal, is to do it the right way, and the right ways with caution. But yes, I think we may play him on the outside. See, Jamrock just said here.
Right, can I address this one?
Yeah, of course, can, because I know what you're gonna say. I know you're gonna say it as well.
I fully agree with Jamrock. I think he's all right. So no, I'll slightly change it, Jamrock. I think he's too slow to playing our system out wide.
Yes.
However, we've seen Curtis Jones play there, and I actually think he may be quicker than Curtis Jones. Not by loads, but I think he might slightly. You'll be surprised that Harvey's not slow. I think people think he's a lot slower than what he is.
Yeah,
but I think
it's tough
because he's played in that position, though, Jamrock. I think he's got experience of playing in that position. A Blackburn, admittedly, but the Championship's not an easy division to play in for a young kid, and he shined in that division. So I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't. I don't want to compare him to like a Mahrez either, but Mahrez ain't slow in my opinion.
No, Mahrez ain't slow. Rapid. He's just not
as rapid as your Salah or your Mane.
Yeah. Mahrez ain't slow.
Mahrez can turn on burners and leave a man if he has to.
Do you know it's a perfect example? I don't know if you're gonna say the name. Plays for Man City, Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's not for Bernardo Silva and Harvey Elliott probably run the same when it comes to top speed. I would even arguably say Harvey might even be slightly faster.
I'm not gonna lie to you. See that Bernardo Silva, yeah,
bro.
The perfect example, but I'll be real. If I didn't dislike him as a person, he would be the perfect player for our midfield. You know. Oh my, the boy is such a good footballer.
But of course, but he's a technical wit. But we've known this though.
I know.
I said I think he's David Silva's son. He's David Silva's son.
Serious, man.
Fam. But here's the thing though. You see Curtis Jones. See Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott plays more like a Bernardo Silva than he does, obviously, a Salah, right? If for me, Bernardo's can play out on the right hand side, so can Elliott. It's not all about pace, you know. It's about your creativity and what you can do. And 1975 Java says Harvey will play the Coutinho wing /half 8.
I just had Klopp's voice in my head when I saw the half 8.
The half 8. And you're right, Jamrock. But he'll do it
on still.
On the right hand side. Facts, Jamrock. That's what I was gonna say with the Bernardo Silva thing.
All right, I'm just gonna put myself out there still.
Yeah.
You see, when I heard rumors of Bernardo Silva when he's leaving the summer, I almost converted and said, maybe I can forgive him, might be able to forgive him. If I'd pull myself back.
I could never forgive. I can't stand him.
I can't stand the guy.
He's what you call it. He's a toe rag.
But he's an example of a player I think we should have gone hell for leather before City bought him.
Yeah, before I knew anything about his personality and whatever, But in terms
he
of
wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have done that stuff at Liverpool.
No, you're right. You're right. He wouldn't have. You're right. He wouldn't have done that stuff.
Like, but there's a reason why you don't hear of our players doing the madness. Let's be honest. Like Klopp and them man, Klopp, Pep Linders and them man, they don't have that nonsense.
Yeah, any foolishness. Look what happens. Saka's a prime example, and that was just him messing about on a trip.
Yeah,
and being late, and then all that stuff. But no, for me, I feel like Harvey Elliott can do what Bernardo Silva does. Obviously, they're not the same. Like Bernardo Silva's weight, like his world-class ability. But I'm talking about what they can produce. It will be the same style of play, especially if you've got Trent on an overlap as well, with Harvey just cutting in. I'm telling you, it can be done. It can be done. Be done, man.
No, I hear that. Look, big fan of Harvey. As I said, I just hope he doesn't get any more injuries, and I hope there's no expectations of him when he comes back. Just let him play his game and enjoy himself. A couple shout outs before we continue. Earlier on in the chat, we saw Saint LFC TV. So make sure you guys subscribe to Saint.
Big up, bro.
LFC TV. I saw Dave's LFC chats as well. Make sure you can
Dave in the chat as well.
Chat. Dave, sorry. Also saw Monts from Big Six Bants. Make sure you go and check out Big Six.
Go check out Monts.
I'm not mistaken. I think they might have a show tonight as well. They've got a show, so when we finish on ours,
they go.
Jump over to Big Six Bants.
Go over there, man. Trust me. Support our brother.
Please do. Raw, completely off topic. Do you know Fresh and Fit, the podcast Fresh and Fit, Matt?
I've heard. Yes, I think Drift was telling me about them.
Might be getting shut down.
Yeah, because they do. Drift was telling me about some.
They do some wild stuff.
They talk about some mad stuff.
Yeah, they do some.
Is it the round table one where they got
yeah.
A
couple of wild brothers, them two still.
Yeah, they're a bit.
a bit out there for my life.
They're a bit Sacco-ish.
Yeah. Very good way of putting it. But yes, people, let us know in the comments, where do you think Harvey would come back to play? And do you think he'll actually have a big impact on the rest of our season? Let us know in the comments below.
Indeed.
Next topic. Right, so I'm springing this one on Matt a little bit. Dusan Vlahovic is the top goal scorer in Syria at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, he's one goal away from either equaling or surpassing the best tally scored in the Italian league for a calendar year. He has a year and a half left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken, and he's heavily linked with Arsenal at the moment, which is not too crazy considering Lacazette's leaving on a free at the end of the summer, and Aubameyang is doing up the most at the moment rather than scoring. Bama is doing the most at the moment, so they need a striker. Arsenal do, and look, they've shown they're not short of throwing money around.
Yeah, for real.
Going from Fiorentina to Arsenal is a step up as well. As much as we shade them, it is a step up.
It is a step up. Yeah, it is.
Obviously, we always speak about Haaland and Mbappe, especially over the summer, where we all convinced ourselves that one of those two players could potentially be someone that we should look at, especially Mbappe, considering he went into the last year of his contract. But Vlahovic, going under the radar, doing his thing, in my opinion, not similar to Haaland or how he plays. They're just both tall and both left-footed. I think that's where the similarities stop. But he is a goal machine. Quite a few penalties, those Football Gospel said, but some of those penalties he's probably won, or not probably, he has won.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's got 15 in 17, and I think he's got 17 in 18.
Crazy statistics. Statistics. The statistics are crazy.
And last season he got 20. Was it 21 in 40 something? 40 something.
Indeed. So we all know about the talent. Plus, he's completely different to any other player we've got in the team right now.
Definitely.
Considering Haaland is completely unattainable, whether it be because of his price, his salary, Mina Raiola, there's always going to be an excuse as to why we can't go for Haaland, even though I don't think there's any valid.
There's no
real
excuse. Yeah.
Should Vlahovic be the one player we're targeting? And again, we all want a wide forward as well, but we've also seen that with Salah, Mane, and Jota, we've got 3 players who can play that wide role. Up top, it's a bit different, especially if Jota is having to play on the wing. Should we be going for Vlahovic as a number 1 priority for up top? And we've got to take our bias hats off here, Matt. I know you want Rafinha, I want Neto, but what's best for the club? I know you can't say let's go and get 2 of the 3. No, Matt, you can't say that either.
All right, so let me just clarify something. If there's one player we could bring in, it'll always be Rafinha in it. That's just how it is. But let's just say it's unattainable, and Vlahovic is on the market. Yeah, Vlahovic is on the market potentially because I think was it Fabrizio was talking about 70 million euros is what they want, but obviously I reckon it gets summertime that comes down a bit as well, maybe to 50 million euros potentially. He is a target man that I think has a bit of everything because I think he's faster than what people think. He's strong, good touch, great finisher as well. I think he would really add to the squad. I do generally feel like if we was to sign him, it would be an amazing coup for us because you can never not have so many good players in the squad. And we can't even sit there and say we're stacking because let's just say, for example, Vlahovic was the only person that came in next summer, so to speak, a bit like Ibu. We're adding literally 1 more player and he offers something different. So, and this is what I think we'll find with Vlahovic. He's either gonna really work for us in terms of how the system plays out. Like he'll just do wonders. We'll be like, oh my days, we've been screaming for this kind of mobile target man for time with good pedigree, or it's not really gonna work, but he'll be a plan B. So either way, I still think like it will be a win-win situation. It's just whether FSG would look at it and go, is it a must? Is it a signing that you kind of should jump at and leap towards? In my opinion, out of all the strikers that we've been linked with over the past, say, like 12 months, he definitely goes in.
Mbappe.
Apart from Mbappe and Haaland, I think he's probably in the top 3, you know? He's in the top 3 because in terms of, I think, suiting our system, I think Lautaro would do a decent job. Although I'm starting to question Lautaro in a 3-man attack.
Yeah, attack.
Because
I think he's a 6-second striker.
Yeah, so
serious second striker.
Same. I'm starting to question that.
But he needs a foil, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I used to think he could do it on his ones, but when I look at his best seasons, bro, it's been with a
Lukaku or Dzeko.
A Lukaku or Dzeko. You get the best out of him. So, but I'm gonna be honest. If we're talking about strikers, realistically, who we could attain, not obviously, as you said, Haaland and Mbappe, it put Vlahovic is top 3 because I'm even trying to think of another 2 that can rival him in terms of what he can bring to the table and in terms of maybe like good enough for us, unless you can find another Jota type signing. Like, because you know, you guys know how much I love Karim Adeyemi, yeah, from Salzburg, but he's a different type of. Again, he's a number 2 type striker.
Dortmund, though.
No, but again, let's just say he didn't go Dortmund, which I think he's literally nailed on to go to. Cal, he's not your lead striker. He plays in the top again for Salzburg.
Yeah.
So
shall I tell you what I can see happening with Vlahovic?
Yeah, go on.
I can see Haaland getting sold in the summer, and I can see Dortmund buying Adeyemi in January and getting Vlahovic in the summer.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be some big business for Dortmund still.
And they still would have change left over from that. Because Vlahovic isn't going to command a high fee in the summer. Adeyemi is not going to command a high fee now.
No, they'll get Adeyemi for like 30 million. But Adeyemi is like 30 million euros or something.
Yeah, I think probably about 20 million pounds they'll pay for Adeyemi and maybe 35 for Vlahovic.
I'm just thinking, bro, other than like, you see, like and people in the comments.
And they sell Haaland for 65 mil, so they still make 10 mil profit.
No, facts. People in the comments, let me know of any of the strikers that you would like to see at Liverpool, other than like obviously who okay, in order or not in order, who would be your top 3 strikers? Because I'm interested to see, because maybe I'm not thinking of names that are attainable right now, but I can't think of any. And I just want to see what you guys are saying as well. And obviously you read some of them out. So yeah, just quickly while we're chopping up, because
that's the thing. I can't think of many. Like before, back in the day, you could reel off about 20.
Yeah.
But is that because a lot of teams nowadays aren't really playing with strikers though?
Yeah, see, LFC for you put Mbappe and Haaland. Sorry, not including Mbappe and Haaland. Sorry, not including them. Sorry,
those are the easy ones. Those are the
easy
ones.
So you can't include them. But who would be your top 3 strikers? Facts. Someone. All right, so you put Haaland in there, but Aubameyang. No.
Isak's a good shout.
Oh, Alexander Isak is a good shout. Yes. Mr. Trent HD said I wanted Daka. Patson Daka, who's actually seems like he's starting to settle in now better at Leicester.
Again, I watch him but when the ball's in behind and they're spacing behind, very good. His overall play, though, I think leaves quite a bit wanting. Oshimeni from Napoli.
From Napoli,
Victor,
sorry,
yeah.
Oh, do you know someone brought up? I don't like him though.
Not Icardi.
No, not Icardi. No,
okay.
no. Not even him. I don't even like him in it. We got linked to Jonathan David. I'm not a fan.
I think he's good, but not for us.
Nah, I just don't think he's the guy, fam. He, for me, in terms of in the Prem, I think he gets slightly found out. He's kind of like, I don't know what it is. It sounds silly, but like he seems very like lethargic when he runs. He seems something's off with him. I don't know what it is. No cap, people. I'm taking. Well, this is kind of a silly thing, but all jokes aside, I'm taking Origi over Jonathan David. Like all jokes aside, all goat talk aside, I'm taking Origi over Jonathan David.
Jamrock says Chiesa. Fiorentina wants
teams to negotiate
with them. Boy, Chiesa's a sick player. I don't know if it's a striker.
Sick, but I'm thinking about strikers though. Centre forwards people. I should have been a bit more. João Felix. MZ says, but again, is he?
Gonna come back to him. Ash says, worst case scenario, you can stick Nat up top with a face mask and lump the ball up there. Jota Nat would be the new Quinn and Phillips. I'm not joking. Don't come for me. If there's anything Nat can do,
but instead of a face mask,
he'd probably be the ultimate target man, bro. Cruyff turning and then just flicking the ball out wide and then getting on the end of headers, bro. I'm all right with it. Nat and Origi in the front line.
The two goats.
The world ain't ready for that. Math says, can't we go 3-5-2? VVD, Matip, and Konate is Klopp too rigid. If we go 3 at the back, I don't think you can play Virgil and Matip. I think it's got to be one or the other, and you've got to play the two speedsters either side. Either side,
isn't it? So it'd be like, yeah. Or that way you could kind of rest. You don't ever want to see it. That way you could kind of rest Virgil though, in a sense. Yeah. So you could do the Matip, Ubu on one side and Ubu on the other. But I think for me that'll take a lot of practice and figuring the training ground, because
you can just click.
Yeah, that's gonna take. So I reckon that's something they'd have to learn over the whole summer, how to play in the back three. But I understand the tactical differentiation that you're trying to bring, because even I've said this earlier on in the year, like why not try a back three? Like sometimes you just got to think outside the box and see if things work, but it is still a risk though. It's a massive risk.
So a couple names coming up in the comments. Dybala's contract ends at the end of the season. Again,
he signed a new deal apparently. He signed a new deal apparently. They just haven't announced it. He signed apparently.
Even Tony, people are talking about Watkins.
Do you know what? Tony's would offer different. Do you know what though? Tony was better in a 2.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Would you say?
I was just gonna say Watkins. I think Watkins is good. I think he's a level below what we need.
Yeah, Watkins.
I'm not gonna lie. I've got a shout out to Lakers for this one. He's not in the chat at the moment. See João Felix, yeah. If we do want to continue doing this false 19, that's the guy you go and get.
Oh, he could do the false 19.
Oh my god!
He could do
João.
He could do the
João, Jota, and Neto.
He could do the false 19.
The Portuguese triangle, brother. You mad?
That's
the future, bro.
That's the Portuguese triangle. It'll be a madness, though.
The poor triangle, I'll call it, bruv. The poor triangle. Bruv, Jota on the left, Neto on the right, and João Felix in the future for Liverpool.
That'll be sick. I can't even lie.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That'll be sick. I can't even lie.
Oh my, Matt.
Do you know what?
Matt.
I know this is a conversation. You want to know something? People might not want to hear this, yeah. I'm only gonna say this once. I'm not gonna repeat it because just probably gonna just enter the chat again very, very quickly. You see when Mane does like leave him, obviously when he leaves, like whatever, yeah, naturally. Hopefully he leaves like when he's like, I don't know, however old when he leaves, yeah, when he actually does go, yeah. Do you know who I wouldn't mind as his actual replacement?
Go on. Gonna say Danjuma.
No.
Oh.
Are you seeing what Vinicius is doing right now?
Yeah, he's doing his thing still.
No, bro. You remember I said Vinicius back in the day, yeah, talent, but obviously for whatever reason, it just wasn't sinking in. Like, even when he played us, he's like he's just like a speed merchant with like no, bruv. Vinicius right now is moving nuts. When I say nuts, fam, he's moving nuts. Can't even lie. Vinny Jr. is moving crazy. You see him, Rodrigo, and sometimes Asensio.
He's a future. He's a future of thing, though, isn't it?
He's a future of it, bro. They are never gonna let him go. Like they will never let him go.
Oh, the front three they want is Vinicius, Haaland, and Mbappe.
Yeah, or
Haaland from the right.
Bro, they still got Rodrigo. Do you know how sick Rodrigo is as well?
They still got Benzema and Rodrigo.
I can't even lie. It's actually, and you know, so mad, bro. They're doing the most with Militao and Alaba at the back.
But I told people about Militao last January. That was the player we should have got.
You did.
That is the man we should have got last January, and we'd have been absolutely fine.
And I can't even lie. I don't know whether it's maybe because it's La Liga, but Alaba is doing a lot in La Liga right now. You know, even him, he's kind of stepped it up again, like he's had to, because he started off a little bit funny, but he stepped it up. You have to give them credit.
Asensio's also been playing decent as well.
He has. It's because of the injuries as to why he kind of never really fully like.
Yeah.
I've heard about this. Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, Darwin Núñez. Personally, I'd go for Isak or Neto. Darwin Núñez does look good. I'm not gonna lie. Packed out Barcelona, but then again, who hasn't recently? But he looks good. Darwin. A lot of people comparing him to Suarez. I don't think they're comparable, but Núñez looks really good. Real Madrid want Rudiger in the summer as well. Real Madrid are rebuilding. They
are, and they're rebuilding well as well. You have to give them credit.
Yeah,
they're doing it smart because they made the investments like 2-3 years ago when they got Rodrigo, they got Vinicius, they bought Ferland Mendy from Lyon as well. They bought when they bought, I think, did they get Valverde as well? I'm trying to think. Did they buy him at some point as well? But no, they're doing a lot.
Jamrock says no additional false nines, need a 1-2 striker. I agree, but Jamrock, here's a question I'm going to ask you: how many 1-2 strikers are out there and available, bro? Because off the top of my head, the only 1-2 strikers I can actually think of off the top of my head are Harry Kane, Lewandowski, Haaland. You could add Vlahovic to the list as well, but those are only 4 in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you're talking like
I know the first 3 we're not in the conversation for.
We haven't got the finances. And even if you do still get the finances, Jamal, it's more of a case of, as I think you said it before, Jamal, in the comments, you was actually agreeing. You kind of said something like, it's not about in a weird way if the money's there. It's more like whether FSG want to do it, so to speak. I remember Jamal said something about that. I can't remember if it was something to do with, no, it wasn't something to do with Drift Set. It was earlier in the show, Jamal, I saw you talking about. And I think that's the point in case again. It's not about whether we have the money, even though it is. It's just more about, I don't know, man. Like, would we do it? Would we actually sanction that deal? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Be interesting. Let us know what you think in the comments, people.
Indeed.
Right. Last topic of the show, people. It's that FPL update. Has Scoop regained top spot? Has he fallen further by the wayside? Stay tuned. You'll find out in about 10 seconds, people. Right. So, last week, Scoop had lost his place at the top. Mark A was leading. As I scroll down and reveal, guys. No, sorry. It was Marcus who was leading last week. And he still has the lead. But look how close it is.
Oh, it's close, bro.
And Scoop had a really good week as well.
He did.
Scoop, Marcus, and Marquet had great weeks.
Yeah, but they were on that 8. Nah, I wasn't doing that much. I was in the 60s, fam. I wasn't doing that.
Someone else, O'Keefe, had a phenomenal week, 89, which is catapulted him into the top 6. So I'll read from the top to the number 10 spot. So 4 is the Liverpool Marcus at top position, 1,114 points. Incredible. That is incredible. I'm not even gonna lie. You've lapped my points easily. Mark A is second on 1,112. Scoop is 1 point behind Mark A. And then you've got a little bit of a gap. This is literally Chelsea, City, and Liverpool this league at the moment. Nathi is in 4th place. Tico Mo Salah, that is Lewis, is in 5th place. O'Keefe Ajayi has stormed up to 6th place. Roughton, Paul for Love, is in 7th, joint with Calvin Jammett, Vinter FC. Drillos Andre is in 9th place, and where Devok is Origi is in 10th place. Same amount of points as Mo Mane, Mo Problems, John Carew. We don't know if that is the John Carew, but we'll run with the narrative. We'll run with the narrative. Until we're told otherwise, we're going to run with the narrative. Harrison FC, you've got Sell to Buy, Michael Edwards. Again, we're going to assume that this is the Michael Edwards as well until we're told otherwise. Cornell Singh in 14th, and making up the top 15 is FSG James Burrows and Thiagoing to win Keelan Corburn. Guys, it's hightening up at the top.
It is. It's just a shame. We're
holding up the base. We're the base. We're holding up the lead.
I created the lead. That was good enough for me. I created the lead.
Yeah. I'm promoting.
I'm just participating in it.
I'm just a promoter. I just hand out leaflets and put leaflets on the car at the end of the night. That table's looking kind of mad still.
Looking kind of crazy.
Looking kind of mad. And considering teams like Tottenham didn't play and Brighton, I don't know how much of an effect that would have had. I know that had an effect on my team because I got a couple of Brighton players. Have I got a Tottenham? I don't think I've got any Tottenham players anymore.
I didn't put on Tottenham players in my one.
Tottenham.
Someone put where's Matt in the FPL. Don't worry about where I am. What I know is I think I'm ahead of these two. That's what you need to know.
I don't even know, Matt. All I know is I made bare transfers last week. I just ripped the team up, brother.
The way to find out is when we go to our other league, innit? And I see where you man are in our Prem Panel Show League.
I ripped my team up and just pretty much started again.
But don't worry about where I am, people.
Yeah, I walked into my dressing room and I just said, "Nothing, you man you're not about this life. You gotta go." I had enough.
Listen, don't worry about what the fuck I'll be doing.
Innit? Don't worry about what I'm doing, fam. Don't worry about me, fam.
All I know is I could have had an 80-point week if I didn't have Spurs players in my team.
Spursy doing a Spursy, bro. That's why you got to leave them man out.
Spurs always.
Yeah, you can't have Spursy DNA in that camp, bro.
Yeah, no, I put it on myself.
That Spursy DNA, bro. It's got hangover treatment.
You know what my problem is, yeah. When it comes to fantasy, I actually play players sometimes on a reverse psychology thing, and it always messes me up when I'm really deep in it.
Oh, so you're thinking, I want a player to have a bad week, so you'll play them.
Yeah.
No, you got to take emotion out of it.
I benefit from it.
No, you've got to take emotion out of it. He said, just play Man City players thinking, yeah, you're gonna lose.
But I've got Bernardo the Rat in my team, bro.
I had to put Bernardo in though because he was just doing so well.
Yeah, but if he has a bad week, then I'll take the hit. And if he has a good week, I'll gain the points for it, innit?
Right. Jamrock says Son has a conversion rate of 37.5 to Haaland's 31.5. That is impressive, actually. I can't lie. That is impressive.
Son is a clinical finisher.
Although I will say that Haaland is 21 now? 2021? So if Haaland improves, that could be a madness.
Yeah, because the only thing, Son is a seasoned vet. However, though, to have that conversion rate is kind of high, though. That is high for Son. That's high.
It really is.
But
gotta rate it. Is that just this season, Jan Rock, or is that?
That sounds good.
Yeah. Can you give us the timescale for those conversion rates? Because even still, not taking anything away from Son, just want to know what the timescale is on that, because that is phenomenal.
This is it.
Coleon says, maddest thing drift is when you take that out. When you take out Spurs, that's when you'll start to click, and you just sat there mad. My luck moves like that. It happens.
If I take Harry Kane out the team, he'll start banging in goals. That's why I keep getting scared to take him out every week.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Kane, fam, but he ain't doing nothing. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't played for the last 2 games, though, to be fair. But even prior, though.
Hold on. Did you guys have a Son conversation when I was away? Why that?
No. They were saying no.
Oh,
we were speaking about Haaland and different strikers and stuff. LFC for life says, can you join the FPL late? You can indeed. All you have to do is head over to our Twitter page. It is the pinned tweet, and just follow it from there.
It's not.
And if I'm not,
is it not the pinned tweet?
It's been switched over to the link.
Do you know what? If I'm not mistaken, this might be hit people
right now. But there you go. There it is. Right,
is that it? Yeah,
it is. That's it right there.
All right, cool. So people, that is the Kop-Ish password for the Fantasy Premier League. So it is, for anyone listening, it is 6 Juliet Romeo Yankee November Sierra. That is 6 Juliet Romeo Yankee November Sierra.
That's the password.
That always baffles me more than people just saying the letter. Always.
No, but I know sometimes ends.
But sometimes pronunciation. Some people are like, huh? Did you say what?
No, I get that. But all that tango whiskey, all that does is on my
sometimes I try and throw little curveballs and then be like gnome and stuff like that. Just what letter does that start with, people? Guess. throw those silent starters. Yeah. Xylophone. Throw little curveballs. You'll never walk alone. No, I've never been arrested before. Just had to learn it for some jobs in the past. My mum watches this. No, mum, I've never been arrested. I haven't been arrested.
Mum wanted to know exactly what I want. Have you been arrested? Like, have you been in trouble before?
I've been arrested. Never been arrested. Got to clear that up. All right, people, that's all the topics. Any other business before we sign off, boys?
No, man, you have to just get your together, man.
Maybe I should, but he's gonna start banging as soon as I get rid of him. What?
Lewis Hamilton F1. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah,
I know he.
No. I can't bother going into it. It's just long. Basically, they just changed the rules in it. Like we just changed the rules in it. Like,
you know the wickedest thing? I was talking with my boys about this. Yeah, winning is winning. Like I get it, but deep down, if you knew you only won because something kind of like not cheating, but something fucked up happened, would you truly feel like you was a winner?
Some people will, some people won't. And that's the true nature of it.
Does that not say a lot about your character, though? If you
of course it does.
Celebrate hard like you earned it when you know you didn't.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a bit different, isn't it?
Listen, all I say is
I was doping for years, bruv. Cleaning up.
Oh, sorry. You know what? Yeah, so for some reason I'm thinking about the brother who walked on the moon. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know something? So was I. I don't even know why. I thought
I don't even know why.
Who's the first person to walk on the moon? It is something Armstrong, though.
Yeah, it is.
No cap.
Yeah, no, it was Armstrong, but yeah, come on, guys. Hold on.
I was thinking the same thing.
Speaking of you, man, must have.
That's why I was like, why is Cal talking about the man walking on the moon for? I don't understand.
No, but that's why because all that stuff was
when you were like, that's different.
I
was thinking, how is that different, brother? You used to cheat every like title he's won. He come out.
This is my brain because that's why I didn't say nothing. I'm thinking, but how can the man on the first man walk on the moon cheat, fam? He walked on the moon.
No, but remember, apparently it was all a hoax. So he lived a life of like something he didn't really do, innit?
I'm not gonna lie. Danny LFC said it was Michael Jackson was the first person to walk on the moon. So Jamrock's come back with a correction. Says scrap that. Haaland's conversion rate is 53.85.
To be fair to Haaland, though, yeah.
That's why we need him.
Facts.
By the way, Liverpool just asked the question, Kopish, what's gold but old? Arsenal's dead invincible talk.
Facts. Facts, bro. Still. That thing is there. It's done up now. Them man bring that up every time there's a debate, innit?
Yeah. For real. All right. Well, people, when are we going to be back again for the people, guys?
We will be back. Let me think.
It'll be Wednesday with the preview for Thursday's game, most likely.
Yeah, most likely Wednesday. But if we are back before, we're letting on the socials because we've got quite a few people. Because obviously Liverpool playing on Thursday. Obviously, you got Newcastle and we're playing again on Sunday as well. So there'll obviously be 2 previews for that game. On Thursday, you got the Prey and Panel show, but stay tuned for that, people, because of all the games that's happening this week. We might have to change the schedule, but we'll obviously keep you posted. Friday is not going to change. We still got the Rival Watch for Friday and Sunday.
The watch along, obviously, for Thursday's game as well.
Yes, watch along, definitely for Thursday's game
as well. I think Newcastle's going to be on telly.
Is it on telly, Newcastle?
Yeah.
No, Newcastle's Thursday. That's
Newcastle's Thursday.
On BT.
I'm trying to think of Sunday's game.
That's on Sky Sports, if I'm not
mistaken. Is that on Sky? Okay, perfect.
So, yeah.
But we should be all good for that as well, people. So stay tuned though. Stay tuned for that.
Well, people, that's an incentive. Follow us on social media. We got over 23,000 of you subscribe here. We love you all, but we haven't got 23,000 of you guys on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
Show some love, people.
Jump on over, people. We give you regular updates over there. So make sure you jump over there and follow us on those platforms as well. But no, been a hell of a show, people. Really enjoyed the interaction. Always a pleasure chopping up with you guys on a Monday evening. And until we see you next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Smash the like button. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kop-Ish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.
Have a blessed evening.
Hi guys, by now you'd have seen our merch store and you're familiar with it. But hold on, what's that, Christmas stuff? Oh, hold on a sec. Merry Clopmas, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for men, women and children. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Look at the detail on that. But wait, hold on. There's more. Jingle. No, not Jingle Bells. It's Jurgen Bells. Look at the Christmas tree with the trophies underneath it. Snapbacks. You know how it is. You've seen the snaps that before. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red one as well. Guys, you know what to do. Click the link in the description. Head over to our merch store and get your stuff now. Let's go.